Let's see here.
I don't know. There's something about it. It's like got this urban look, but it's still Harley, but not.
So it's a Harley bike?
Of course. Yeah. There we go. Well, no, I would totally consider like the BMW RT90.
That's a sexy ass bike.
BMW.
But not stock. I want one of those like
BMW RT90
iterations. That's a street
Rebel
bob.
without a pause. I feel like that should.
That's the one I like.
Oh no, totally.
So you saying
The Fat Bob.
I thought they stopped making those.
No.
There we go. Ooh.
How is Harley doing as a company? Are they like still
Up and down, man.
right?
No, there was something like a day or
And
two
Trump
ago.
screwed them.
A day or two ago,
They had to
so
take their work overseas.
Shit.
Fourth quarter is
They had no
gonna-
choice.
Fuck.
Fourth
Trump
quarter,
screwed them.
they're going to be at a heavy loss, but they've been focusing more on the international market. They're producing in India,
They're producing motorcycles in India
so they all right.
and then shipping them back
No,
here.
no. Ones that are produced outside of U.S. are only for outside the U.S.
Okay,
sales.
so
Remember when Trump did the whole thing with the terrorists? He was like, "Yo, you're screwing us because we're in American business, but now you're forcing us to take our business overseas
yep.
because we're the people American made. You just screwed us." And everybody was like, "Well, what are you supposed to do? You got to survive."
Yeah.
No,
So you
totally.
take your
But
business.
they're
yeah.
one of the biggest American companies.
That's
That's still like one to be
An American
made.
company.
A lot of people don't want to be American.
Look at that
made.
sexy motherfucker.
It's nice. But what about the live wire?
That is a nice.
Next year.
That's not on here yet.
No, because it's next year. I think that's a 2020.
Harley knows
bike.
how to make a fucking motorcycle.
I still think this is one of the best bikes, the Roadster, even though I can't fit it. I love it, man. I'm like,
Your
that's
ass-
fucking perfect.
Is your ass too tall?
It rides pretty good.
I could ride it. I'll just be cramped.
Yeah, his knees will be up.
More
in his
cramped than a
chest.
regular sports bike because Harley's, the Sportsters are like really small.
So what kind of
compact.
bike are you supposed to be riding with your kind of?
If it's a Harley,
He
like
need- he needs a
like
street
one of
bob
these-
with extended pegs.
as they used to call them, diners.
Yeah.
You know.
I have no knowledge of anything motorcycle
Yeah.
related.
This is
I
what-
am the opposite. If you take a gearhead, I'm the opposite of that.
Motorcycles and cars, man.
I'm the least handy person you'll ever meet. I could fuck with a computer, fix a computer like a motherfucker.
I want to get to this level. This-
Doorknob, can't change the doorknob.
This bike is old as shit. It came out in like I think 2005 or something.
That bike looks cool.
Oh wow! Look at the
But they ain't
artwork
painting.
on that.
Look at that. It's got an Oni mask on it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Or Hanya mask.
Have you ever seen any of that work in person?
No, but I've seen a
Dude.
video of the guys who made this.
The amount of detail, like they do it on fenders, they do it on
Yeah.
sheet metal, like
That's amazing.
they do it on engine, they do it on engine heads.
Fuck.
It's insane.
That's-
Very simple bike too. It's
Yeah.
nothing, but this is a custom job.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, look at that
totally.
frame.
The framework.
Yeah, but they got the
exhaust.
forks. Like, shit.
Or is
The
this a
hair.
Japanese crew that makes this?
No, it's American.
Really?
Yeah.
Cultural
a-
appropriation.
But it's a Honda.
I'm
It's a
offended.
Yeah.
500.
Two Guys Garage. They were on a show. It was a show that came out mid 2000s about cafe racers, and they were on it. And they showed this bike, but it was like half of this. It wasn't even this much of the work. And they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna check back every now and then to show an update of the bike." 'Cause this is
I'm
all done by-
offended.
This shit is done by hand.
God damn.
Yeah, man.
Shit.
Yeah, that's why I want to go to that Yokohama show one year. That's like a big one. That like, it's international. You have U.S. builders, you have Japanese builders, and like the work you see online, like Instagram, whatever, posted. Actually, I think one might have just passed. It's usually beginning of December.
Gomez, you might like this.
What is this?
Arch Motorcycles. You don't know who does this?
That's not Keanu, is it? That's the Keanu
Is it
one.
Keanu's?
You don't know?
Is it Arch?
don't know?
Is it Keanu?
No.
Is it Keanu?
This is his company.
Oh, he actually has a company that builds motorcycles.
Yeah.
I thought he was just a spokesperson.
Custom.
I thought
No.
he was a
And they're
spokesperson.
works of art, and they perform like a motherfucker.
He's into bikes.
How, how expensive are they?
Very.
like
That
8,000.
that base.
No,
that
no,
base.
no,
More?
dude. They're like times like tens of thousands.
Stop. Really?
Dude, go on.
Arch. Well, Jesus Christ. Those look nice. There's like
Oh,
some shit Neo from the.
shit! Look
that
at
looks,
this one.
That looks like some shit Neo from the Matrix would ride. That's a John Wick bike. Speaking
John
of which,
Wick doesn't ride bikes. Man. Let's be real.
He rides horses.
Mustangs.
Well, he rides Mustang,
Mustang.
but I feel like in the next movie he's gonna ride a motorcycle. I think so.
Nah.
I think he might.
Nah.
Sponsored by Arch Motorcycles.
Nah.
I think so.
Nah.
I don't know. Product placement in movies in Hollywood
Wait, I could
No.
find
because
that
they're all a bunch of
article.
shills.
Nah.
I think so. Keanu, don't disappoint me.
Mustangs.
So
man.
I'm not gonna name it.
Muscle car.
I'm not gonna name a name, but we have a friend who is friends with Keanu Reeves, and he knows how I feel about Keanu, and he will not introduce me to him. He was like, "I know how you feel about him, but I can't do that." I'm like, "Yes, you can. Yes, you absolutely can.
Totally can.
You for sure can.
You totally can.
You have his phone number on your phone. You could call him right now and put me on the phone with him.
reason.
Do you have the ability to pick up your cell phone, dial a phone number, put me in contact with somebody that I have admired since I was 11 years old?
Do you
And
know somebody who? No, you knew somebody who rode with Lawrence Fishburne.
he's rolled with
I've
Lawrence
rode
Fishburne.
with- Yeah, I have.
Oh,
I have too, but I have a good friend who's good friends with.
As much as I love
Smoke.
Lawrence Fishburne, and as much as I,
Biker Boys. You see the movie?
yep, as much as I love Lawrence Fishburne, and as much as I love Blackish, I still would prefer Keanu Reeves.
See,
Don't-
I would introduce you first to one of those friends, then the other friend that's trying to break through.
Right. I'm not trying to be an actor. I want to meet somebody. I'm not trying to be an actor. I want to meet Keanu Reeves because you're Neo, you're Bill and Ted, you're the guy from Speed, and you're fucking John Wick. We have a connection that you don't know about. All right? Like, I've watched all your movies. I can't even tell you how many times I've watched. The Matrix was literally one of those movies that changed my life. And I know if you're listening, you've heard this conversation before. I've espoused a million times
I don't even care about the
Keanu Reeves
Matrix.
would build a $78,000 motorcycle just for you. I will give him $80,000 if he just takes a photo with me.
The simple fact that he made the John Wick series, I'm like,
Right? It's phenomenal.
that's the icing on the cake.
I watch John Wick 2 at least once a week now. That it's on HBO.
I've been trying to get not trying to get my brother. My brother knows he's got to watch it at some point. But I'm like, every time, I'm like, have you watched it yet? Have you watched
If
it
I
yet?
talk to
Have you
somebody,
watched it yet?
right? If I talk to
Have you watched
somebody
it yet?
new,
What are you waiting for? Go home, watch it. Watch it. Stop everything. Go watch both of them.
right?
That's it.
It's a fun movie. You cannot have a great time. If I meet somebody new and we're talking, I'm like, hey, have you watched John Wick? And they're like, no, I don't like it. It's violent. I don't talk to that person.
It's a silly movie. Of course, it's a silly movie.
Of course, it's a movie. They kill his dog and he kills everybody. Of course, it's ridiculous. Why would you not
Jackass.
watch that?
Perfect reason.
But the Matrix changed my life in a way that most movies and most people can't comprehend. It is a movie that has shaped my entire life since the time I saw it because, one, it was my first really...
Well, it shaped a lot of people's lives.
What's up?
It shaped a lot of people's lives.
So it was the first, not my first rated R movie, but it was the first rated movie that I bought from J&R Music World. Rest in peace. You're not around anymore,
Nope.
J&R. But I bought it when DVDs first came out, and you had to pay $600 for a goddamn Pioneer DVD player.
My first DVD was Blade 2.
Also a good choice. Although Blade 1 was fucking excellent.
Blade 2 with Del Toro was the shit.
It is, because of the fucking,
Behind
the
the scenes.
jaw.
Oh, that too.
Those vampires were fucking crazy. You know what was really good, though? Blade 3 Trinity.
No, it wasn't.
She likes to listen to trap hop while she hunts. I knew that was ghetto. I knew that.
That was
ghetto.
such a horrible movie.
Oh, it was so bad. But
we don't like to mention that.
but
movie,
I will
man.
say that it introduced me to my
You notice
second
they
tier
got-
man crush, Ryan Reynolds.
You know-
and I was like, Ryan Reynolds is fucking awesome.
But did you notice they put Blade 1 and Blade 2 on Netflix?
And not Blade 3
No Blade 3.
because Blade 3
There's a
doesn't
reason
exist
for that.
Just like Ninja Turtles 3 Lost in Time, Turtles Lost in Time. It does not exist.
Wipe that shit out, man.
It does not exist.
Oh, speaking of turtles, have y'all seen Turtles Forever?
No, I have not.
I
What is
haven't
Turtles
seen
Forever?
any.
Turtles Forever. It was the same premise as Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
They take the turtles from the graphic novel Turtles, the black and white ones, the real gritty ones. They take the turtles from the 80s, and then they take the new turtles from Nickelodeon, the 3D turtles, and mix them all into one universe. This came out like, what, 2010?
Really? I've never heard of that.
It's called Turtles Forever, man.
But you did just mention something that's fucking awesome, which is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
How fucking
So
great was
good.
that movie?
So good.
Oh, so fucking good.
So good.
I particularly enjoyed the fact that they combined. You know, everybody had that big uproar when they came out with the new Spider-Man, and he was Puerto Rican and black. And they're like, you can't do that. Spider-Man's Peter Parker. And then this movie was like, well, what if there's, like, fucking real physics? What if there's multiple dimensions with multiple
Which makes
existences.
it make sense because I was one of those ones that like, what do you mean Peter Parker's not Spider-Man? What the
Right.
fuck is this?
Right. And now you have every version of Spider-Man coexisting in one movie.
Not every version.
Almost.
Not every version.
Because they missed that dude Ben, who
Yeah.
was the alternate Spider-Man for
Yeah.
a couple years.
Yeah.
I got those comics.
And then did you guys stay for the extra scene at the end of the movie?
Yes,
Yeah, of
we
course.
did.
Earth.
So good.
Earth 69. Why are you pointing at me? I don't know. Why are you pointing at me? Stop pointing at me.
This is Turtles Forever.
We need some audio on this, Smalls.
Oh.
There's no audio on this, Smalls.
Hold up, man.
It's a special world premiere exclusive. They are back. Turtle power. And I got the pieces. We're good to go. And they're joining the Turtles of today in an event so epic. Was that a mutant? Banana, so evil. Come and face your doom. And so jam-packed with turtles. We had to make a movie just to fit them all in.
Wait, so there's 3 worlds of
Yeah.
Turtles? I still think this is better than a live action one.
But this,
I've never seen any of them, so.
You've never seen the live action
No, no, no.
Turtles
No.
from the 80s?
No.
but check this out.
dude,
Here's the funny
just-
thing. Here's
I
the funny
never-
thing about this. So y'all remember the Turtles from back in the day, from the
Sure,
80s,
yeah.
90s, right?
Yep.
So there's scenes in that where he's always talking, like one of the characters is always talking to the camera, right? So they start poking fun at each other, like the turtles that are black and white. They're very gritty. They're very serious because the graphic novel was like it was serious. It wasn't like childish. It was like people die, they kill people, and shit like that. So they were like, they would poke fun at each other throughout this episode because all the dudes were combined. And there was one point where Michelangelo was saying something stupid, and another dude was like, "Yo, who are you talking to?" Because he was talking to the camera.
He's breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, he was
breaking
like,
the
"Yo,
fourth
who are
wall."
you talking to?"
That's amazing.
And then you see like the people from the 80s cartoon where they dressing all punkish and shit. And he's like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on?"
That's amazing.
Why are these? And you think
I love
about
it.
It's like, yo, back in the day when they drew the cartoon, people did dress kind of crazy.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
you look at it now, and you're like, yo, why is this dude dressed like that?
So good. So good. How did you guys feel about Spider-Man into Spider-Verse? Nicolas Cage being the new Spider-Man noir.
Nah, he wasn't my favorite. My favorite was the dude from New Girl. You ever watch New Girl?
Yeah.
The TV show.
Yeah, I know the
He also was
show.
on the movie Let's Be Cops. I don't know
Who did he voice?
He voiced Peter Parker,
The one that
the
died?
one that lived.
The one that lived. The fat
And
one.
I was like, oh, his voice was on point, man.
No, it was
mean,
good. But when
Spider-Man Noir, you don't realize it's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
until you're like,
so-
oh shit, that's Nicolas Cage.
I recognized it almost immediately. When he started speaking, I'm like, that's fucking Nicolas Cage. The minute I heard his fucking voice, he was like, yeah, Buster. I was like, that's.
This dude, Jake Johnson.
I
was like-
wasn't paying enough.
I was like,
attention.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, Jake Johnson. Oh, that's
He was
perfect.
his voice.
Oh, that's
I
perfect.
recognize. I was like,
Okay.
oh, that's the dude from New Girl. It was perfect for
Oh,
like
so
an
good.
overweight, just
Yeah,
like
like,
gave up on life. Peter
yeah.
Parker.
That's so good. Did you guys see Tag? He's in Tag.
Yeah. No, he's
No,
not
I
in
have
tag.
to see
He's in
that.
Tag. He's the guy that's always high.
Oh yeah, he is in tag.
You didn't see
I
Tag?
didn't see it yet. I know. I wanted to see it. I didn't catch it.
It's
No.
so good.
You know a good movie that he's in?
It reminds me
Let's
of
Be
the
Cops.
yeah.
Where they're not cops.
Right.
They just get the uniforms. And they
Uh-huh.
just run around.
Tag reminds me of the first Hangover movie.
Oh.
Oh, come on.
It does.
Fuck
Okay,
that.
so it's not as funny as the first Hangover movie, but it has that vibe because it's like it's ridiculous, and you're like, what the fuck? It made me laugh almost as hard as the first Hangover movie.
No.
Yup.
No.
Yup.
Hell no.
Yup. When they punch,
Hell no.
when he's getting punched in the ass,
I
he's like,
mean-
"Oh,
I
you can't
wouldn't-
punch
I
me in the
wouldn't-
asshole."
I wouldn't rewatch Tag. You see it once
I
and you're
have.
like,
I saw it twice.
but Hangover, how many times have you saw Hangover?
Okay,
the first
well,
one.
Hangover is a unique movie.
How many times have you saw it?
Like 35 times.
And really, how many
No.
times are you gonna sit and watch Tag?
I'll watch Tag twice.
I haven't watched it twice, and I wouldn't.
I haven't watched it once.
I wouldn't even watch it online.
watched it once.
I want to watch it online, but I would watch Hangover 1 and 2, and maybe 3.
I only watched 3 once.
But to compare Tag to Hangover is like
I don't know. When I watched it in the theaters, it had that same kind of vibe to
Nope.
it. It was so fucking
Nope.
weird. Because when you first
Nope.
watched, I saw Hangover.
How is
in
it
the
so weird?
It's a strange idea for a movie.
But Hangover was just like me and my guys
Hangover-
go to Vegas.
No,
and all
Hangover
hell.
you could relate to.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
you could possibly see yourself.
Sure.
Well,
I've had these nights.
I've come
We
very,
actually had those nights.
or I've
motherfucker.
come
What
very
the fuck?
close to them. I can't
Smalls,
recall it.
we actually had some fucked up Vegas nights.
but Tag is just like it's
Tag
it's a
is
cool
like a
movie.
6th grade. Yeah, this is. I don't see this happening when we're playing tag. I don't
It's-
see us
it's funny,
playing
but it's
tag
not-
as
Apparently, it's
adults.
just me, but there was something about Tag when I was watching. I was like, this reminds me of The Hangover.
Tag doesn't even have any moments where you're like, because I saw it in the theater, and there was not one time in the theater when I was just
They
like,
didn't have you laughing?
what the fuck? Hangover. When I watched it, I watched 1 and 2 in the theater, and I think I watched.
I watched all
No,
of
I
it.
know I watched part 2 by myself in the theater. And part 2, I
don't
remember there was
remember.
other people in the theater, and motherfuckers was just like, "What the fuck?" When him and the tranny, it was like, "What the fuck?" Him and a face tattoo, him and a little dude, and then the monkey grabs the dick, and it was like, "What the fuck?" There's so many moments in Hangover where you're just like, "What the fuck?" Tag doesn't have those moments.
This is true.
at all.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
There's no what the fuck moments.
I might be misguided in my assessment of
You don't-
Hangover.
and when you're watching Tag, you don't sit there and say, "What's wrong with you?" Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all, man?
Sort of. I still think to this very day I've never laughed harder than I have watching The Hangover in theater, the first one.
I think it's one of the best comedies of all time.
Were you with us when we watched it?
No,
It was. I know I saw it with Adam.
probably.
Maybe a Snowman. I'm not sure if you were there.
What did you just send me?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, the email. The
what?
Keanu Reeves motorcycle, the arch
Oh.
motorcycle.
Oh, there you go. I got you.
It's more porn for
Oh.
Gomez.
Introduce
Why
me
don't you
to
just get your motorcycle license?
I have
Then
no-
when we're like 60, we can all rent bikes.
maybe.
Wild Hogs.
Wild Hogs. That fucking movie. I hate you.
So
At least
bad.
we know that if we ever did that, we'd have like the dopest patch ever.
That's true.
That is
We
true.
would have a fucking dope ass patch.
They'd be like, "We don't like y'all, but that's a pretty nice logo you got right there." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I know."
So, if you haven't noticed, this is Chico and the Grin, episode number 32.
32.
Welcome. We're fucking balls deep.
I think we should get to 36. We should do like a tribute to Wu Tang.
Whoa,
Ah,
Tang,
Six
That's a
chambers.
good idea.
right? And then in between,
Kung Fu movies.
And then in-
Ooh,
yes.
strictly Kung Fu
and then
movies.
in between, we'll just
Red Belt.
fuck that movie.
From Crouching Tiger to Red Belt. We count down the best martial art movies of all time.
This is why
It's
we
not even supposed to be in that list. It's terrible.
This is why
It's
we
so
have,
bad.
we have to do video of our podcast.
It's so bad. It's such a fucking terrible movie, Red Belt.
No,
Horrendous.
It's not that bad.
It's
Thank you.
So
not that
it's
bad.
so bad.
No, it's not.
He used jujitsu and a cane. They don't teach you how to
Who
use
used
a cane.
the
and
cane?
when he fought the guy with the knife.
But that's because we go to a school that doesn't teach us how to use a
That's
cane
true.
with jiu-jitsu.
What jujitsu school teaches cane work?
Marco
Sure,
Santos.
Machado.
Because he has a fucking claw for a hand. There's
Hey.
he doesn't. No jujitsu school.
He was born that way.
So was fucking Lady Gaga. There's no school. There's no school that teaches you how to do jiu-jitsu with a cane. I'm sorry, that doesn't work that way. And his name, what's his name? He's that's the guy. He's
Mike something.
no,
Terry.
No. The actor from Red Belt.
Oz?
He's a huge actor. Now.
Oh,
He has the
oh,
super African
you mean
name.
his real name?
His real name.
Chiwetel
Oh,
Ejiofor or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
The African. I can't
Yeah.
pronounce that. I never.
I
could.
can't pronounce his name.
African
So,
British.
so I don't even try. I don't want to fuck his shit up.
Yeah.
No,
But
he's a good actor.
He's an amazing actor.
I won't call him amazing actor.
He's an amazing actor.
He's good.
He's very amazing.
He's not amazing.
He's pretty good.
I won't call him amazing. Amazing is when like you can flip it.
Didn't he win the Oscar for 12 Years a Slave?
It's a fucking slave movie. Come on. I don't want to. That should not even be considered.
Why not? He's a good actor.
Fuck that.
It's a moving.
No.
It's a
No.
very
No.
moving
Well,
movie.
no.
No.
See, I can relate to that because I totally can't see Tom Hanks getting
can
an
relate.
award.
He can relate.
Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks getting an award for Forrest Gump. I mean, I have 20 friends that could have played that role.
I guess, but the emotion that he portrayed.
In Red Belt.
Stop. Stop.
You look conflicted at the end. Come on.
He's been in so many movies. Actually, he's
He wasn't conflicted at the end? That super fight at the end? Come on.
with fucking with the Machados. Like, why are you trying to win? He's gonna murder you. He's a real jiu-jitsu guy. Real.
Okay. So we can go from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, because that's like a groundbreaking martial art movie.
Yeah, that one.
That is groundbreaking.
Shouldn't we start with like Enter the Dragon or Fist of Fury
How
or
do
the
you not
Chinese
start with
Connection?
Bruce Lee?
See,
But those are
those
are real kung fu movies.
Wow, you're
Fuck
saying
that
no?
shit.
Did you just say fuck Bruce Lee?
I'm not saying fuck Bruce Lee. I'm saying fuck all the movies that
All right,
everybody
how
knows about. Everybody knows Bruce Lee.
But everybody knows Crouching Tiger, Hidden
But
Dragon.
they
do
don't?
Enter the
Yes,
Dragon
they do.
from Williams' perspective.
Okay, hold up.
But we can only
So-
watch them on VHS.
Hold up. So everybody knows Crouching Tiger, but let's go from because Crouching Tiger was a pivotal point in martial art movies,
Sure.
right? So let's go from Crouching Tiger to Ghost Dog. or let's make it 10 years. Let's go from
Audience,
Crouching. Let's
if
go
you
from no.
could see
Here's a better one.
Chico's face right now.
Let's go from Crouching Tiger to The Raid. You see The Raid?
Yeah, I've seen the Raid.
You see The Raid Redemption
Yes.
Yo,
Part 2?
Yes, I've seen part 2. That's the Redemption.
No, The Redemption was Part 1.
Was it? No.
Yeah.
No.
It was called Raid Redemption Part 1.
Really?
And Part 2 was when they had the girl with the baseball bat and the guy
the
with the hammer.
That's the same dude that was Mile 22, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy, yeah.
Yo, that
Yo.
freaking getting out of the
Yeah,
Man,
that was,
Ratu-
that
Fergie
was a good movie.
scene?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that was good.
Badass.
Listen.
So let's do that. Let's do 10 years from Crouching Tiger to The Raid.
And all the movies in between?
All the good ones.
What
10 years,
Don't
I
fucking
don't-
put Ghost Dog in there. Ghost Dog is before Crouching Tiger, isn't it?
Ghost Dog is after.
Is it?
Yes.
Why didn't they even make that movie? Who greenlighted that movie? A cross-eyed fucking...
Jim
Whitaker.
Jarmusch.
You know the name. You know who produced it. Son of a
He
bitch.
made a few good movies. He has a good vampire movie with
I told you
Loki
in
and,
the Anthony Bourdain Lower East Side episode, they
Yeah.
mentioned Ghost Dog because the director, the producer, or somebody's like in the Lower East Side.
I
fucking
can't believe
dude.
that's even a thing. Why do people know this?
No, see, Ghost Dog doesn't count in the last 10 years. It's 1999. You beat.
So when did Crouching Tiger come out?
Probably
Fucking
too old, too.
2002?
No. Crouching Tiger came out before Ghost Dog.
Did it?
Yes.
And that's off
Alright.
the list too.
Microaggression. Let's find out what year it came out.
2000, year after.
Ooh.
Okay.
But is that the official American release date? Because I know it came out in China before it came out in the U.S.
I know
Well,
I both
It's even older.
Shit.
I know I saw them both in San Antonio when I was living in San Antonio.
Which is ages ago.
Yeah.
You're as old as me.
So yeah.
You guys are the same age?
No,
Oh.
You're like what? 4?
45.
4 years older than me.
5 years.
So 5 years older.
Just
Yeah.
turned 40.
Shit.
But in all martial arts, Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang.
Okay.
That's a good
If we
idea.
do this Wu-Tang
So I
episode-
have to check my dates
Okay.
on my favorite movies
Okay.
because I know a lot of movies are before.
What year did Iron Monkey come out?
There's several Iron Monkeys though.
The first one.
There's the
first
Shaw Brothers Iron
no,
Monkey.
the first one.
No, the first one is by the Shaw Brothers.
All right, then that one.
Then the other one has Jet Li in.
No, not the one with Jelly. Not the one with Jelly.
Oh, okay.
The first one, the Shaw Brothers.
The Shaw Brothers.
The one
that
I,
one
I still,
sucks.
I still have it on VHS and
that
DVD.
one sucks. Yes, it does. The one with Jet Li is better.
How dare you?
With the doctor
yeah, doctor.
and the girl.
Yeah, I like it. Iron
That's the
Monkey.
one with Jet Li.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, I'm all
I'm
fucked up.
telling you, I have both of them on DVD.
1977.
No,
Ha!
not 1977.
And then there's another one with Jet Li, a modern
Which
one.
has got to be more
Dude,
modern.
are
Hold
you
on,
really
hold-
going to question me on martial art flicks?
Hold on.
Come on.
Okay, I was wrong.
Not only were you wrong, you were probably making it more
I for sure was not born.
Any song that was mentioned on Wu-Tang or any movie that was mentioned in the Wu-Tang album or sampled, I've watched.
Let's see here.
You want to know a real trippy movie?
By you? No,
No.
this is one right here. Iron Monkey. This one. Donnie Yen. Donnie Yen's in this one.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, no, this. Yeah,
What's
it's
the date?
93.
93.
93.
All right.
I was like, no
not
way.
Jet
I was
Li.
like, no way, it's Jet Li.
But you know what? Jet Li did a good series though.
This one, I have this on VHS. I watched this shit like 1,000 times.
But you
I
want to
love this movie.
You want to know a real good movie? It's an old school classic, Duel to the Death,
I've seen that.
because they said they didn't. This is where Wu-Tang sampled most of their music from. This movie is trippy. It's about the greatest warrior from China and Japan, and they battle it out. And at the end of it, both the motherfuckers are sitting on a rock. Like each one is on a rock. Another dude's on a rock, and there's water splashing around. He's like missing a limb. He's missing a limb, and it's just like because it's like it's done. The movie has like flying people. The movie has ninjas. The movie has samurais. The movie has kung fu. And I'm like, wow, man, it's a good movie. Bullshit martial arts, but a great fucking.
Can you
movie,
imagine
man.
being the producer on that movie? Like, yeah, let's throw in some ninjas. All right, samurai, sounds good. Kung fu, yep. Martial arts, yep. Fucking Shaolin monks, do it. Dragons, go for it. Moths, yep. Everything, just everything's in this fucking movie.
I saw like the Raid. The Raid was just like great martial arts, not overdone, and looked realistic as hell.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Did y'all see Lady or was it The Villainess?
I don't think I saw that one.
Ooh, this movie, man, groundbreaking.
Was that the one
movie.
with the female assassin?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. I saw the trailer. The trailer was
God.
really good. I didn't
Damn,
see
this
that.
movie's amazing. I watched it the other night.
Really?
Yeah, man. I was like, I gotta watch it again because I wanted like something bloody.
I'm just about to finish Daredevil season 3. I'm behind.
Man,
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as you.
But season 3 wasn't that bad.
season 3.
It's hard to top season 2 though.
It's just
With
Oh,
the
no,
with the
because the
Punisher,
Punisher's in
it's
it.
so hard to top
Punisher
season 2.
fucked it up.
The Punisher,
think
yeah,
so?
you can't come back.
Because
You
he's
can't
just
come
like-
back.
Oh,
You can't come
yeah.
back from that.
He just like made it like
Season 2 of Daredevil is perhaps the greatest Netflix superhero season ever. It's so brutal.
check this out.
Yeah. Yep, I remember this. I've seen this.
Oh, this is that first person one, no?
Oh, I have seen this. Yes, I have seen this. Absolutely, 100%. I did see this. I watched this with Nicole, and she's like, "Why are we watching this?" Yes, I've seen this. I've seen this. Yes, 100%.
I have not.
Yeah, I remember this.
Korean.
Yeah, it's a fucking good movie. It's really good. Mm-hmm. Isn't this shit on Netflix?
No.
I think it was. Pretty sure that's where I saw it. Yeah, I remember this shit.
세상에서 가장 슬픈 일.
The motorcycle fight scene.
Yeah, so good. I like that.
당신 어떻게 나? 아저씨, 단 한순간이라도 날 사랑한 적 있어?
So good. I'm in the mood for Korean barbecue. Is that racist?
Yes.
No, but that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a great movie. I'm pretty sure I saw that on
I-
Netflix or one of these streaming
It's the
services
first
had
time
it.
I've ever heard of it.
It's a really good movie. It's really good. Fantastic.
martial art flicks, man.
But like, if we're gonna do this like kung fu,
We gotta make 10 years.
yeah, but we gotta do it like right. We gotta have
10
some
years of what span, though? You can't do the last 10 years because then you omit-
shit.
Well, the Ray wouldn't count. But we
Right.
can do
Well,
okay. Let's
a
say
lot
like
doesn't count.
We
as
gotta
we
we gotta do
So
from like
let's-
the
so-
80s on.
so. Let's say like we pick.
do the 80s
Because
on.
I know you're gonna be like Bloodsport.
Hell yeah, Bloodsport.
Oh, you
Fuck
got to
Bloodsport.
include what the first one at least. Come on.
No, there is only one.
Yeah,
That's true.
I agree with him on that.
That
It's
is
like
true.
Kickboxer, no remakes.
There's only one.
just only one.
There's no. If you saw Bloodsport 2, you know only one exists.
How about you pick your top 20,
Top 20. Shit. All right.
and I'll pick my top 20.
Why don't we do
20?
top 10?
Well, yeah, come on.
Because then we end up with 40 fucking movies.
This is like I just got a grade on my last paper and like I didn't know there was a limit. I thought there was just a minimum. She's like, you were 3 pages over.
Shit.
So yeah, same thing applies. You're doing 10.
So top 10 starting from where? From win to win.
1980.
Let's do it. Yeah.
1980. Is that Lone Wolf
Gomez's
and Cub?
birth.
Is
to the
Lone Wolf and
present.
Well, I
Cub?
was born in 88.
Is Lone Wolf and Cub 1980?
All right, so we could do 80 to
Let's do
meet in
eight-
between.
80 to today.
It's 38 years. That's a
Nin-
good span.
Yeah, 1980 to right now.
Lone Wolf and Cub is 1972.
Oh, you mad?
Oh, damn. That's even before me.
Wait, Shogun's Assassin was 1980. But that doesn't count because that was like a combination of all 5 movies.
You know I'm going to choose 47 Ronin, right?
Which one?
The one with Keanu Reeves.
Of course.
Sucked. That was horrible.
as
Fucking-
number 1.
With the shaky heads, the
All right.
shaky head insect people.
Fucking
Is it
Doo-doo
top 10
ass hand.
and you have to rank them from 1 through 10, or is it just 10?
top 10, and we got to rank them.
1 through
Like
10.
my favorite 1 through
Like,
10,
wow.
and yours as well.
Okay.
And you have to back it up.
Is this for next episode?
No, that's
36.
for 36.
Episode 36. All right, I'm going to start compiling.
The chamber one.
36 chambers.
36 chamber
36
episode.
Chambers is good. But
Master
that was
Killer.
before. That was before 1980.
Was it?
I think so.
Master Killer, 36 chambers. Yeah, it probably was. It probably the 70s.
I want Word document citations.
Oh, shit, son. I don't remember how to do a bibliography.
Yeah, Word, you go into Word. It's like you just there's like a template. It's easy.
List of Shaw Brothers films.
Fucking Shaw Brothers.
The Kid with the Golden. Damn, 1951.
Fuck, it was back that far?
I know Gordon Lowe or Gordon Lau made a lot of their movies, man. Look at all this shit.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Well, 36 chambers, right?
Then Tarantino, he bought all the rights to all this stuff.
God damn it, Tarantino.
1972. This is amazing.
Does this include Gung Fu
Yes.
with Chow Yun Fat?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that's something to work towards.
Absolutely.
I have my list ready.
So
I'll be prepared.
What year was
Was what?
36 chambers?
I want to say before the 80s.
yeah.
That's on Netflix. I know that much. I saw it. In Return to the 36 Chambers. Yeah, 1978.
Oh yeah, so that's fucking A. It's a great movie though.
It's good. You know what my favorite was though? Fist of Legends. Jet Li.
You like Fist Legend?
Yeah, man.
It's kind of like a remake of The Chinese Connection, isn't it?
It is, but better.
Better
Same
than the
story,
one with Bruce
but
Lee?
better. Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it's better.
I like the Bruce Lee version.
I mean, he's cool. He did his thing. He was groundbreaking, but Jet Li just made it better.
Can one of you please include Big Trouble in Little China, please?
Yeah, because Kurt Russell.
Technically, that is not martial arts, though.
I mean, it's listed here as Kung Fu.
It is a great movie.
best
hands down.
80s Kung Fu movies
John
from
Carpenter.
M. Ranker.
Is the man.
With
And you know
Bloodsport being number 2. It beat out Bloodsport.
Did you know John Carpenter made all the music for his movies?
Really?
Because he didn't had a budget to pay for music,
I expect Gomez to include Karate Kid.
so he did that shit himself.
If you had
No,
to
no.
guess, if you had to
Gomez
guess, hold
Gomez
on.
would include the Karate Kid that starred the Pink Ranger.
Okay.
The original Amy Jo Johnson one?
The Pink Ranger.
Yeah, she was in the Karate Kid.
That's now. If you're gonna talk about that, you have
Wait.
to get Jalen on.
Wait, who is that? I don't know. Wait.
You like Power Rangers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in the Karate Kid.
No,
the
she
original
wasn't.
Pink Ranger, Amy Jo
Yeah.
Johnson.
No, she wasn't.
Yeah, she was.
Who was she?
Do you want me to call
They
Jalen?
did like a Karate Kid continuation with Mr. Miyagi and her.
Wasn't that?
And she was like a
that
new
her?
Karate Kid.
No, wasn't that? What's her face?
wasn't the Pink Ranger.
No, wasn't it?
No, that was Hillary Swank.
That's Hillary Swank. Yeah, that's not her. That's Hillary Swank.
What?
Yeah. No, Karate. Yeah, the Karate Kid 4 was Hillary Swank.
Hold up.
100%.
No, that's Hillary Swank.
It's
If that's
Hillary
what
Swank.
if
Yeah.
that's what you're referring to.
Yeah, that's Hillary Swank. The girl from the Power Rangers was not in Karate Kid.
No.
Absolutely.
No.
100%. IMDb Karate Kid 4. It's the new Karate Kid.
Karate Kid 4. You sure?
I think so, yeah. Karate Kid 4. It's Hillary Swank, 100%.
What was the MMA movie?
Never back down.
Never back down, yeah.
Yes, make sure that's in.
That's it.
please.
Horrible.
I-
No, that's,
movie.
I
that-
know.
that's the TV series. Look, I'll tell you right now. Okay, Google.
I didn't even know there was a TV series.
Karate Kid, Hilary Swank.
Here's some information about
The
the,
next
next
Karate
Kid.
Kid.
Karate Master Mr. Miyagi goes to Boston to attend a military reunion.
That's right. Yeah. The next Karate Kid's Hilary Swank.
Thank you, Google.
Thank you, Google.
Siri, you suck.
Okay, Google.
No, you're right.
Police story.
Yep. That's what I remember. Hilary Swank. I remember she had big ass teeth. I don't know. Because all white people look the same.
Ninja.
All white people look the same. So, if you
This
guys
is
had to
the
guess,
80s.
what do you think my top 5 kung fu movies are, or martial arts movies are?
Bloodsport.
You think Bloodsport's number 1?
Never Back Down.
Ronin.
Never back down from like the 2000s. You think so little of me, John. Jesus. Okay.
A Chuck Norris movie.
Okay.
Keanu Reeves. Ronin.
Which?
Oh, yeah.
Which? Okay. There is a Chuck Norris movie in my top 5. I wonder if you guys can guess which one it is.
Iron Eagle.
Nope.
He had a series with that.
Nope. I bet you guys can't guess what it is.
The one where he fought Bruce Lee.
Nope.
And Joey
wait,
Diaz
I
did the
don't-
commentary.
No.
I don't
No.
remember all
That's
of
the best
them.
shit.
Hold on.
You Google Chuck Norris movies in its entirety.
For you, I would say, I would see your movies as more. You're more into samurai movies rather than like martial art movies.
Am I?
I would think so.
Think so?
Yeah,
But it's got to be martial arts.
It's a martial arts movie, yeah, for sure.
I would say like
Remember, it's in my lifetime.
That too.
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport, I will tell you, Bloodsport is probably my number 1.
So if Bloodsport's your number 1. That says a lot. So American Ninja.
No, I don't actually like the American Ninja franchise.
Okay.
In your lifetime.
I will tell you that Bloodsport's number 1, but a Bruce Lee movie is number 2 for me.
Then the one with Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
No.
In my top 5, there is a movie with Chuck Norris. It is not the one with Bruce Lee. So I'll tell you, number 1 is going to be Bloodsport.
Okay.
Number 2 is going to be Enter the Dragon.
Okay.
So number 3 is actually going to be the movie with Chuck Norris in it. Can you guess? Are you looking at his filmography?
Yeah, but I'm also trying to find something like after you were born.
I'm pretty sure it came in after I was born.
I say
I'm-
Iron Eagle.
I'm almost.
Sidekicks.
Yes. You found. Yes. I love Sidekick. It's such a great movie. It's such a good movie. He has asthma. The kid has asthma.
Totally-
Oh, it's so good.
See, I wasn't off when I said never back down. God damn it.
It was so good. The fact that this kid
I
was like
just-
me. The kid
all of a
has.
sudden I see it. I'm like, it hit
It's
me.
that one. It's that one. You saw the poster, and the poster.
I totally forgot about that. I was
So you like Three Ninjas as well?
Oh, I love Three Ninjas.
God.
Three Ninjas
damn
is
it.
so good. Three Ninjas is so good. Rocky loves Emily. Rocky loves
And you hate
Emily.
on
And
Red
they
Belt.
order Domino's pizza.
And you hate on Red Belt.
Red Belt's garbage.
goes though.
Red Belt's hot garbage.
But you
I
like
don't-
Red
Three
Belt
Ninjas.
is hot. Three Ninjas is a story
And
about 3
sidekicks.
kids who have a randomly Japanese dad. None of them look Japanese.
Grandfather.
None of them look Japanese.
Not
But
even
apparently they
close.
are. Not even close.
Not even mixed.
Nope. But their mom is Japanese somehow, or their dad is, or whatever.
He had that super sperm.
Yeah.
Not even Force Vengeance. It's fucking sidekicks.
It's fucking sidekick. It's not Delta Force. It's fucking sidekicks.
Delta Force. That's why I asked. I'm like, are we talking military?
No.
Martial arts movies. 'Cause
Martial arts.
Delta Force. Is
Side.
shit.
I watched. I remember the
love
first time.
Delta
I remember the
Force.
first time we went to my local video store, Videorama on Coney Island Avenue in Newkirk, and I saw Sidekicks. I saw Chuck Norris and this random white kid, and I was like, I want to rent that. And I watched it. I'm like, this motherfucker has asthma just like me. This motherfucker has daydreams just like me. He met Chuck Norris and he beat this motherfucker to death with fucking nunchucks. This is me. This is me in this movie. And that became one of my favorite movies.
And the
I will-
Grin is just shaking his head.
I will still watch that movie till this day if it comes on TV. And of course, it never comes on TV.
Of course not.
Yeah,
I wonder why.
but that kid
Fucking sucks.
fucking killed himself. He hung himself.
wow.
Yeah, but he
that's
was also in the It TV series.
Okay.
He was like that kid was actually in a bunch of movies. He's a pretty famous actor. That kid. But I love the fact that you looked through the whole filmography and you saw sidekicks. You're like fucking sidekicks. I was like, yeah, it is. It's fucking sidekicks.
Sidekicks.
So good. He fucking learned from a Vietnamese man. He learned from a Vietnamese man kung fu to go to a tournament that's non-combat, that's non-touch to break bricks that are on fire and to do a nunchuck routine. And he won the hearts of millions with just that in California.
I should have known. Like,
I'll give you my top 5 right now. So it's Bloodsport, Enter the Dragon, Sidekicks. Iron Monkey doesn't count because fucking it's 78, 79.
something like that.
All right,
yeah.
so then that means it's going to be, let's see, Bloodsport, Into the Dragon, Sidekicks. Top 5. This is hard.
I don't even have one. I've never even given this thought.
Right?
That's the most movies I watch is martial art movies.
What is
I
it?
mean, I watch everything, but I never think and sit down like, all right.
I guess,
these are-
does Kill Bill count as a martial arts movie?
yeah, totally.
Kill Bill Volume 1. I guess, man, that's
You
Shit.
Can't, you can't
Your list
name
sucks.
amongst-
I'm just saying.
The Matrix.
Oh, damn.
The Matrix.
But wait.
List is subject to change upon further review. Just saying. For the final episode number 36.
Of course. I mean,
I just wish.
I really have to
this
go
is
through
off
that
the
list.
top of your head. I
just
get
wish,
it.
I just wish for like.
I mean, you got fucking sidekicks on the list.
Sidekicks.
There's so many.
Still better than Red Belt. Still better than Red
There's
Belt.
so many martial art movies out there, new and old.
Yeah.
From 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever. There's so many. And you pick the
Sidekicks.
most commercial ones from America.
It's got Chuck Norris.
You didn't even pick like American Ninja.
Nope. Garbage compared to Sidekicks.
You know?
Hot garbage.
Or even some of Van Damme's ones like I know he had
Double
one
Impact.
No. What was it?
Universal
Wait,
Soldier.
why isn't there any freaking Steven Seagal on this list?
Because he's not real.
The,
I have-
the,
I have-
the one with the Italian mafia should
I-
be on some kind of
I-
list.
I've literally never enjoyed a Steven Seagal movie.
The one with the
You didn't
Italian
even-
mafia.
you didn't even pick, like-
was the only one I enjoyed.
You didn't even say Lethal Weapon when Jet Li came into it.
Didn't like Lethal Weapon 4.
Lethal
Weapon 1.
Lethal Weapon 1.
Lethal Weapon 1. But
Christmas movie.
It's not. Yeah, it's
Christmas
not, It's
movie.
not. It's not a martial arts movie though.
No, agreed. Yeah.
It's Lethal Weapon's not.
There's
I'm a
martial arts.
bias. I'm a
in it, but
bias.
it's not
I
a
like
martial arts
I like
movie.
my I like my martial art
That's my
movies
question.
international. You know,
Sure.
they're just better.
No, I
You know.
could get with that.
So for episode 36, we're gonna have a lot to discuss.
Into the chamber.
Should we
of
expand?
Gomez's
Should
shitty
we
list.
expand our list from 75 to current time? Because if
Maybe.
you go to 75, you open up a ton more movies.
That is
No,
true.
but then it makes it too easy for you to.
I guess. Because then you can go back to the classics.
No,
classics.
but then it made the classics are the classics.
Are we including black exploitation karate films? There's a lot of them. Jim Brown,
is
you know,
the last
Dolomite.
is the Last Dragon on any of our lists? Because I know it's not on mine.
Last Dragon sucks.
Only
I just
be-
bit my
o-
tongue.
only because I know the actor and I don't care for him very much.
The Last Dragon as a movie,
I liked the movie until I met the actor.
Is
How does
not
that? How does
good.
that sound?
but it's one of those things where it's like
I rewatched it recently on Netflix. I'm like, this is kind of offensive.
you know it's not good. No, it's only offensive because you're in that state of mind right now
Is
in
it?
America.
Well, sort of, but I'm like, man,
You know what movie's offensive? Monster Squad. You ever watch that shit?
No.
They had it on Netflix a little while ago. Those kids are cracking nothing but fucking horrible fucking jokes on each other. Just talking shit.
Monster
It's
Squad.
like, wow, this is offensive. I can't say nothing that they're saying in
Shit.
public. And they're just little kids just talking shit to each other. And it's like, they're not even using curse words. And it's like, wow, that's just horrible.
I have not seen that movie in a long time.
It's a good movie.
I got-
It's cheesy as fuck, but it's good. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I don't think The Last Dragon's on my list.
Nah. I like The Last Dragon. I had the DVD. But it's just not.
I watched it. And I'm like, man, this is just such an unoriginal movie.
Like, for me, I would say,
I watched it. I'm like, you saw Bruce Lee, and the people who did this movie like saw Bruce Lee. Like, we're just gonna do that with black people.
well, see, they try to do a remake. in the
Why?
early
It's like
two-
a cross between
but here's the
Bruce
thing.
Lee
Let me
and
guess,
Prince.
who was the head of trying to make that happen?
But here's the thing. It was talked about for a while because the music industry was behind
The Last
movie
Dragon,
before.
yeah.
So they were like, okay, let's try to do it again. It was Russell Simmons. He was like, let's try to do it again. But he's like, the biggest thing is who has no. There's nobody in martial arts who has an impact the way Bruce Lee had an impact
Back then.
on everybody.
Very true.
So that was the whole premise of Last Dragon was
Yep.
Bruce Lee.
And he was
had
still
the
relevant
impact
then.
On nobody in martial arts has an impact like that anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't remake that movie where people will look at it and be like, "Oh, I get it." Like, no, you don't get it.
No.
Because when Bruce Lee came on the scene, it was like martial art flicks. But let me say real quick, for me, these aren't my top fives, but these are like the favorites out of the DVDs that I have. It's like Crouching Tiger, I love it. The first one, I love it. The Lone Wolf and Cub series, all 5, I don't care. You could just throw on whatever, number 1 through 5. Yeah, I think it's 5 DVDs. Number 1 through 5, I don't care. The father and the son, I love it. Like, they go on missions. They got the magical shopping like stroller that has like blades out of fucking everywhere for some reason. The father's fighting. The kid is like, "Oh, pops, you need me?" The father will like throw the kid in the stroller. The stroller goes sliding. The pops is like fighting off 10 dudes. The kid will be like, he'll hit the side. 10 blades pop out. He helps chop off the feet of like the. I'm like, this movie is ridiculous with this wooden cart. And I'm like, I love it. That's 2. I would say. I love The Last Samurai, to be honest.
With fucking
Tom Cruise.
I was gonna say that. I was like,
I
I was change
think-
my 5th one to The Last Samurai just to piss you off. But now that
I think The Last Samurai is one hell of a movie, and I think it's
well
fucking
done.
underrated, man.
Very artistic.
Yeah, it's like I mean, it's along the lines of Lone Wolf and Cub, and they have that. People will talk bad and they'll say like, oh, it's the white guy who survives all this
Yeah.
shit. But I'm like, yo,
the white savior.
Well, not necessarily. Well, I guess you can say white savior, but Lone Wolf and Cub is a beautiful fucking movie. Like hands.
I mean,
down.
I never
a fucking
really,
beauty.
I never heard of it until now, and I just looked it up, and the graphic novel looks
what did I say?
amazing.
No. I'm sorry. I'm confused. I'm
Last
confusing.
Samurai?
No, it's The Last Samurai, and it's Dancing with Wolves. I was saying Lone Wolf and Cub. Dancing with Wolves.
Oh, Dances with
With
Wolves
Kevin
is
Costner.
awesome.
Yeah, but they're similar movies.
Yeah.
Similar movies. One guy
Yeah,
gets
they
captive.
join into a culture that's not their own.
Yeah, and it's like, but they're beautiful fucking movies. And
Yes, I agree with
like,
that.
take all the politics out of it. Last Samurai is a hell of a fucking movie.
Yeah, I enjoy watching Last Samurai.
And I did some research, and it's based on the actual true story.
Really?
Yeah, the thing is, it was like a guy in the Navy who went. It's different from what they told it, but it was an actual guy who went over there in the colonial Navy or whatever they had back in the day, and he became part of that culture. The thing is, like, nobody knew what happened to him, so they don't know if he died. He didn't fight in the war, but they don't know if he died. They don't know if he lived. So that's my 3rd. I would say Jet Li, Fist of Legends will be my 4th because I love that one. I don't really have a favorite Bruce Lee movie though. I'm gonna be honest.
How is that possible?
I just don't. I just don't.
Really?
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't.
Game of Death, nothing.
I don't. I have the DVDs. I have them all. I have the whole box set.
And there's just not a Bruce Lee movie that sticks out. I remember being little and watching Enter the Dragon with my dad, and I'm like, this is the most amazing shit I've ever seen.
But I think for me, I saw them after the fact. I didn't see them like. I remember seeing Return of the Jedi and Star Wars in the movie theater.
Yes.
I never did.
Well, I'm sorry. Maybe not. Empire Strikes Back, but I know I,
I
saw
saw
Return
New
of
Hope in the
Return of the Jedi
theaters.
in the movie theater, and I remember that. But I never saw Bruce Lee coming up. I saw it after the fact.
Yeah, me too.
After, but I'm saying like after I saw like all types of other martial
Me
arts
too.
movies.
Me
It
too.
It just doesn't.
I saw Star Wars is the first movie I can remember making an impact on me, watching New Hope and then watching Empire Strikes Back. But I also remember vividly watching movies like Enter the Dragon, and I'm like, because you watch Star Wars, you're like, that's some shit I can't do.
Yeah.
But I remember watching Enter the Dragon, I'm like,
What are you talking about? I could totally force push. Sith Lord
So-
shit.
but I remember watching Enter the Dragon, I'm like, oh, I could do that. I could kick somebody around the forehead. I could do that shit. And then that's when you get the whole thing where you're like, you watch it, and when the movie's done, you're like, oh, and you strike the pose.
There's another movie I love. I won't say it's my number 1, but it's up there, right? It would be Fighter in the Wind.
I've never seen that.
It's a Korean movie about a Japanese fighter. Masoyama, one of the greatest karate fighters of all time. He's the guy who created Kyokushin karate.
Badass.
Yeah, he in real life he fought a bull. Like
What?
chop the bull right down there.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I know. a
Masoyama. Look it up. He's the guy who created Kyokushin karate. It's the karate, but they do bare knuckle
Yeah. Oh,
fighting.
I know what Kyokushin is. Yeah.
Oh, no.
He created.
He
Kyokushin
chopped the
kara-
bull in the forehead.
Yeah, he created
I
Kyokushin.
believe it.
He created Kyokushin karate in the mountains of Japan, but he's a Korean guy. So the movie is about like how a Korean guy who was a boxer,
What's the movie called?
Fighter in the Wind.
Fighter in the Wind.
Yeah, I have the DVD. He goes into Japan
Making a note of this.
and he starts training. And it deals with like the Yakuza, deals with like immigrants, it deals with like love, but and then he picks up like the art of war. And he's like, oh, I gotta be better.
Right.
He goes into the woods for like so many months, comes back, he's like, yeah, I'm a
Oh,
beast.
this looks fucking evil.
Yeah.
Check it out. I'll pull up
I got a friend where I first started jujitsu, black belt. That's a couple degrees in Kyokushin karate. I've seen him kick people with the pad against him because, like, oh yeah,
Check this out.
we could kick harder than you. And they went
Oh, this
kick
shit looks
for
brutal
kick.
as fuck.
Yeah, that's his gi. And he goes around like all the Japanese schools is challenging people. He's like, I'm gonna fuck you up. He fucks everybody up.
I am the wrath of God who is with me. I'm in.
He challenged every dojo.
I mean,
Is this who Ryu's based on?
I don't know. There was a list I saw once of like it was Street Fighter, and it was comparing the Street Fighter characters to real people, and there was even a character for Helio Gracie.
Really?
Yeah, he was from Brazil, and he didn't have any arms. Oro was his name.
Oh, Oro. Yeah,
And that was big-
Oro.
and if you look at the picture, it looks just like Helio Gracie.
Oh, shit.
And he has no arms, and he fights on the ground.
Oh, wow.
Like he slides on the ground. He like hits people with his legs and shit.
oh
That's
wow.
crazy.
And they were saying that was based off of Helio Gracie
Wow.
doing jiu-jitsu. It was like on some blog. It was a list. It was like the top fighters from Street Fighter. And people, and the same blog was saying the way that Ryu has his stance in Street Fighter is the same way that Masoyama used to do his stance. His real name was like Bindio, something in Korean, but he changed it to Masoyama.
Joe Smith.
It's a good movie though.
No.
Oh, shit. He broke a rock.
Yo, I want to
He's
see
doing
this.
fucking 2-finger push-ups. Oh, shit. They had plastic back then?
There's a lot of kickboxer training though, like bite-offs from this though.
His gi is all fucked up.
Yeah. There's a scene where he goes to a dojo and he tells a guy, he's like, I'll fight all of y'all. And one of his boys is like, you want the pads? And he's like, nah. And then as he's fighting, he knocks
Wait,
the
what was
shit out
that?
of one
Rocky
of his boys.
meets what? Anything that advertises Rocky meets, I'm in.
There he fought a ninja. See, this is the 47 Ronin you need to watch.
I've seen that one.
The real one.
I've seen the real one. But
Hey,
the Keanu
can
one
we
is
put
better.
Wolverine in the martial arts world?
Nah. Not at all.
Come on.
And Chico's face right now?
Oh, you dropping DVDs.
They already fucked up.
I want to see that. I'm surprised you even have a wallet case still. Even I've gotten rid of mine.
Yeah.
This is good. Twilight Samurai.
Never seen that one.
Do you have a drive to even play those still on?
Was that?
Do you have a drive to even play those
His
still on?
computer has the drive.
Oh, you still have it?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, this one still has it.
That's amazing.
Now that I want to watch.
I got rid of most of them. This one is good. Kiss of the Dragon. Jet Li in
Yo,
Paris.
oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
That's a good one.
What about
I don't know.
What about Romeo Must Die with Aaliyah and Jet Li?
Did you just say Romeo Must Die?
Yeah. It's got Jet Li, it's got Aaliyah, and it's got Chris Anderson.
Oh my god.
It's a great movie. I love that movie.
Right after Sidekick.
Romeo Must Die is fantastic.
This is a great movie. Look at that.
You actually own the DVD. You actually.
Ladies and
Hold on, let me take a
gentlemen,
picture of you holding up
A
that DVD.
Ghost Dog
Hold on.
DVD just got pulled out of
Hold
a
it up.
wallet sleeve.
Hold on.
Look at that. Look at that. Beauty. Forrest Whitaker.
I can't believe this.
There's not a scratch
That
on
is
it.
wild that you own that. God damn it.
I don't have as many as I used to. I've gotten rid of a lot. This used to be full with like DVDs and anime.
You don't need it to be full. You could just
I had a
pull
giant
it
book like
offline.
that full of anime DVDs that I used to burn.
But like everything in here is like the stuff that I don't have a problem watching over and over again. That's the difference.
Jesus.
All right, so segue into what we originally said we were going to get into. What happened this year?
This year wrap up.
The year wrap up.
Year in review.
Who remembers what has happened this year? Because I don't.
A lot. You know,
I
the
know.
biggest.
I don't deny a lot has happened, but are we talking personal or?
Oh, we could do that.
No, we're not getting into that.
We're definitely not getting into that. That
Why
would.
not?
That
you
would
don't
be-
have enough bourbon on that table,
There's not enough.
and
for-
I have to go home.
Speaking of which, let me go get that. Let me go get a refill on this beer.
There's 2 in the fridge. All right.
All right.
For me, it was
Wild
like
Chico.
the
takes a
biggest
little
things that happened this year.
self-improvement. I think we all three of us can say
Yeah.
we've accomplished things that we didn't think we would. Not, I know. You guys, I would say, accomplish what you thought you would. I didn't go into this year trying to accomplish anything. Yeah, I finished another year of school. I'm now 18 credits away from finally getting a stupid piece of paper.
Okay.
That means something.
Yeah.
But I mean, in regard to my personal things, I mean, I started out pretty shitty, but came out of the tail end of it pretty damn good.
You're fucking still here.
That too. You
I
guys
mean,
have totally progressed professionally, I must say, and I'm awesomely excited about that.
Fucking 2018, son of a bitch.
I know, it went by so quick again.
Every year, you
I have
get
a
towards the end of the year, and you're like, man, this fucking year flew by.
I have a calendar, like one of those like marker calendars on the fridge, and it's like January 1st says, "Holy shit, another year."
Yeah.
WTF.
This guy opens potato
Um,
chip bags with fucking a Smithsonian knife. The Smithsonian makes knives.
John, do you think as you get older, the years go by like this now? I don't know if you can say that yet. You're still too young there, little boy.
I'm 30. I'm old. I'm old and
Little
fat.
boy. I mean, they just blow by now.
I don't like to talk about the past or anything like that. I don't like to dwell on the past. But for me, I've always been hard on myself because I've seen a lot of people around me just waste their lives away. So for me, especially ever since I wanted to pursue my career as an artist, I've always worked hard every fucking year. And I just noticed like now, I think since I turned 20, like back when I turned 25, I noticed how things were changing extremely fast. 25, 30, 35. Now I'm 40, so I'm like, fuck, man, I don't waste my days anymore. I'm just on the grind. My girl's like, oh, you need to stop. I'm like, I don't have tomorrow.
There's
No.
no time.
Tomorrow's not guaranteed.
Yep.
Think about
Nothing
it like
wrong
this.
with
How
that.
many people have you known that passed away this year? I've known a couple.
I've known two
Personal?
people.
And I'm like, fuck,
yeah, I
man.
know 2 in our community. Family, luckily. Oh no, wait. Yeah,
And it's like, I'm talking to my friends. They be like, yo, my boy just passed. Oh, this. I'm like, fuck, man. It ain't we not guaranteed tomorrow. I remember talking to one of my boys who was he's a couple years older than me, like 43 maybe. And he has a kid. And he was telling me, he was like, this was a couple years ago. He was like, dude, ever since I turned 40, I just feel like my life is like it ain't moment.
Yeah, it can.
And I was like, I felt that coming on, but now that I'm 40, I'm like, yo, man.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's like that, whatever that, you know how when you're young, you're just like, ain't nothing gonna fuck with me. I
Yep.
jump off a roof, break a leg,
I'll be
I'm
aight.
still gonna be all right.
Yep.
Nah,
Not anymore. Not anymore. No, I was funny. I thought that the other day.
I don't
But
know.
it
I can
makes-
still break my hip,
but it
because
makes
that's
me-
what I feel like lately, and I'll be okay.
But what I'm saying is like, that makes me work harder because I'm like, I know tomorrow's not guaranteed. So I want to make the most out of every fucking day.
Sure.
Get up, do what I gotta do, come home, do what I gotta do. At the end of it, if I'm dead and gone, I left all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
be prolific like Picasso. He was one of the most prolific motherfuckers I've ever read about. You know, or Delacroix. That dude's prolific. He had a shit ton of work. You know, but yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. The older you get, I mean, this year's been really good to me. I can't, you know, I have, I don't know how. 2018 was a weird year, but a very good year for me, and I think 2019 is going to be another good year. Mostly because I'm trying to get my fucking health back into check, because I don't want to be fat forever.
Wait, when did you get fat?
Boy, I've been fat since I was born. But I'm like 50 pounds overweight.
That's not good.
No, it's not. It's not going to ticker. And I learned that.
We are not rolling anytime soon.
On fucking Friday, I don't know if you guys saw my post on Facebook. Well, you didn't because you're not on Facebook.
No,
But I trained.
No,
I
nor
trained
am
on
I.
Friday. I thought I was going to have a goddamn heart attack.
Don't say that, bro.
I know. I really felt that way. Even the guy, even our buddy that we trained with, was looking at me. He's like, "Are you okay? You're like pale." And I felt like I felt like my sweat was cold. I felt cold. And he was like, "Yeah, but you should sit out," because the warm up was, and this was a super big eye opener for me. During the warm ups, the room started to spin, and I felt super nauseous. And this was a warm up that 2 years ago I could do without a problem.
Yeah.
You know, the running, the leapfrogs, the fucking everything, all the 45 minutes of slap hands and sprawl, and then keep running, the over under, all that. By time we were done with that, I got through all that, and then we started doing the lines when we do the hip escapes and the roll and the front rolls. I was like, I can't breathe. The room is spinning. My head hurts. So I just like sit back.
So you know that corner eye going? That's
where I was. That's where I was, and I thought about you when I was doing it. I was like, I know it, Jason. He's still an asshole. But even the person who's teaching the class at the time, who was not normally the person who teaches the Friday night class. I don't want to name names. Was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. It's just the room spinning and I can't breathe. I'm fine." And everybody's like, "Shit,
gotta be careful."
But you know. I stopped doing the warm-ups. I did the technique. I rolled, and I was okay. But that moment where I felt like my heart was beating, I could feel my heart beating in my feet. Like it was beating that hard. I could feel the pulse in my feet. I was like, whoa, this is like some shit I have not felt in a long... Like last time I felt like that was in 2009 when I started training, when I had never done it before. So 2019 is going to be a year where I get my shit together. I'm currently enjoying a nice adult beverage right now, but 2019, I've already told everybody on the internet, no alcohol for 2019. I'm eating super clean, and I want to do the Old Man Worlds in August. So starting,
is that why you guys had the IBJJF?
No, that was his own thing. That was his thing.
I'm only gonna do April, July, and November.
Wait, you're gonna compete this year?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. And I haven't gotten a stripe on my brown belt, and I've been a brown belt for almost 2 years. So that's a big wake-up call, too, because everybody's like, motherfucker, you ain't training enough. So that's a big motivator
No,
for
but that's
me.
not true, because I haven't been training enough, and apparently I got a stripe last.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm on a different scale.
You guys are gonna
because
make
I
me
broke that motherfucker's
compete.
heart.
Oh,
You're gonna what?
you guys are gonna make me compete, aren't you?
No, you don't have to compete.
No, I know I don't have to, but it's like, you know, I want to be with my boys. Like,
Sure. I mean, I'll be in Vegas for Old Man Worlds
I'm
for
not
sure.
doing that shit.
I'm gonna do it.
no, I'm staying in New York. I'm not paying to travel to lose.
But
Sorry,
but you're not paying to travel to lose. You're paying to travel to lose and to go see fucking Vegas.
I'll just pay to see Vegas. but I don't even want to go to Vegas.
Dude,
at this
Vegas,
point.
Vegas Old Man Worlds is awesome. I
No,
went once to
I
coach.
have no
I'll pay
desire
here
to do that
To
anymore.
win or lose, then go get a rub and tug.
Go see the Dragon Lady.
Dragon Lady.
Oh shit, the Dragon Lady. Speaking of Dragon, never mind. So our year in review. Just as a side note, we're not ending the podcast right now or anything, but I just want to say thank you to everybody who listens. I know a lot of people at my job listen. We have a lot of friends in our community that listen to the podcast, and you know, it means a lot to me, and I'm sure it means a lot to the Grin as well, that we have people who take the time to listen to the podcast.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
you know, we appreciate you listening. I know a lot of times we go on rants about some bullshit. We do this, we do that. We talk about the same thing a lot of the time, but it's stuff we're interested in, and hopefully you find some interest in what we talk about or some enjoyment. Yeah, even if we make you laugh a little bit, that's the goal. We just want to entertain you a little bit while we share our opinion on some bullshit.
I gotta say something.
Okay.
One of the best things I've experienced this year was Antonio Banderas and his portrayal of Picasso.
Fucking phenomenal.
I thought you were gonna say Expendables 3.
That I'm gonna honestly say that miniseries that he made, it's impacted my life.
Yeah.
I own the actual files. I bought them. I didn't download them.
Oh
I didn't
shit!
bootleg
You
'em.
bought them?
I paid for them. Like after the first episode, I bought the subscription for the rest of the season, and I continue to watch it. I learn something every time I watch it, and I've been studying Picasso ever since. It made me interested in his life. I'm not going to say Picasso is my favorite artist,
But it's an influence.
but the way the man approached his life, I very much admire and learn a lot
He
from.
didn't give a fuck.
You know, and he reminds me of the way Da Vinci approached life. Like, I'm not a fan of Da Vinci's artwork.
What?
I'm just not.
How?
Because I don't like that type of artwork. It's not my favorite. Like the Renaissance European religious artwork. It's just not. It doesn't sit. It doesn't vibe with me.
Really?
But I've always loved Da Vinci for the way that he approached life, the way he always approached information. He was always inquisitive. That he was just always searching. He never settled on anything. He was like, I just want to know. I want to know more. I want to know more. And I felt like when I'm learning about Picasso, I'm like, yeah, man, this dude. Was
There's
like
another beer in
that.
the fridge.
He was also.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good. And I'm like, so that show, even though Antonio Banderas didn't win award for it, he should have, because I think he did a phenomenal job, man.
I agree.
think he did like
He should have won the Emmy for that.
he should have, and it was like, it was an amazing. He did such an amazing job that I was actually heartbroken when he didn't win. I was sad to find out he didn't win. I was like, oh, he has to win. And when I don't watch those awards, but my girl told me she's like, oh, he didn't win. I was like,
Who beat him?
some bullshit. Whatever it was, had to be some bullshit because this dude did a fucking.
He shaved his eyebrows.
That was a lifetime performance. That
Yeah.
he did. That was a performance of a lifetime. Just like Selma Hayek when she did Frida, that was her moment. That was like that was the best performance she would do in her career.
Like when Madonna did Evita.
I didn't see that, but
I thought he was going to say some shit. I threw that out there just to see if he was going to say some throw the microphone at me.
but
Don't cry for me, Argentina. The truth is, I saw the movie when I was a kid. I was like, this is some bullshit.
But I remember, I'm just saying, like, for this year, that has impacted me a lot, you know.
Yeah.
And now I own, like, several Picasso books, and I'm looking at my art differently. I'm studying art differently. I'm thinking about art differently. I'm painting differently, all because of what he made in that series. Straight up, you know. It's better than
Interesting
any
how that
art
works,
lesson
right?
I could have got, you know.
Interesting how
Yeah,
a
man.
well-crafted piece of
TV
art
series, a fucking
Yeah.
TV series.
about an artist that maybe you were somewhat. How much more familiar with Picasso now than you were before the show?
Oh,
right?
I knew of Picasso, and it was just like from the show, I was just like,
Dude, the fucking the TV show shaped where I went for vacation. It made me go to Spain so I can go to the museums about Picasso, so I can go learn about his fucking life. It's insane. I ate at a shitty restaurant that he used to go to.
Yeah.
Just to say I ate at the same fucking restaurant Picasso went to. The Three Cats restaurant in Barcelona. Don't eat there. It's fucking,
Really?
It's fucking terrible.
tastes like cats.
It tastes like ass. It's the
Like
worst.
cat ass?
It's the fucking,
John's hallway.
It's the worst. It smells how John's hallway would taste. It tasted how his hallway smells. Not great.
Yes, it's the beer's star.
But yeah, if you go to Spain, if you go to Madrid, if you go to Barcelona, thank you. If you go to Barcelona, don't eat there. Go to the museum, enjoy the museum. Go eat anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's really terrible, and it's expensive. You definitely get hit with the tourist tax there.
Of course.
But go to Spain. Spain's amazing. I think I want to retire in Spain. It's fucking beautiful.
My mom
A lot of
says-
people do.
My mom says Spain's amazing.
I haven't even been to the good part yet. Apparently, the good part's the southern part of Spain by the ocean. They said that is where you want to retire.
Well, most places are good by the ocean.
Yeah, I mean, I went to Barcelona, and Barcelona was awesome. Madrid was even better for me but Madrid reminded me of like New York City, very urban, very young, a lot of young hip crowds. But all my friends that have been there before, like Granada, Malaga, Seville, Sevilla, that's where that is where it's at. They go, that's the real Spain. Like boat legs. I ran into boat legs in Madrid. Yeah. And boat legs like, this is bullshit. He goes, this is Madrid, Barcelona, that's bullshit. That's fucking tourist shit.
Wait. Run that back. You ran into who?
Boat legs.
No.
Yeah.
That motherfucker.
He's here right now. He's in New York right now.
He is?
Yeah. He's
still
in
training?
No. Sort of. He said there's a place in Madrid where he trains, but it's like hard to get to.
I ran into him in a bar in the Lower East Side one time.
Oh my god.
And he was just like, dude, he's like, I'm not about that life. He's like, I like it, but I don't like it to be like every day.
I ran into him in Madrid. I was in Madrid. He messaged me. He's like, motherfucker, I live here. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, I live here. Let's hang out. I'm like, okay. So I was like,
what the hell's he doing there?
He moved there for a girl. It's working out, so I'm not complaining.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
But
no, he's
for him.
like, I don't want to give away his whole life story, but he's
No.
he's loving. He's so far the way he's describing, he's loving Europe, and he's like people. He's like the only thing is everybody here is trying to touch my hair. I don't get it because he has like the little dreadlocks.
Yeah, he's got the little.
He's growing out the dreadlocks. He's like everybody here wants to touch my goddamn hair, and I'm like, stop touching me.
And he's not a bad-looking dude.
No, but
he's got that young cuteness about him, that baby face.
He's hilarious. He's super loud. You can tell he's an American though, because he met us. We were in Madrid and we were eating. Me and Nicole were eating outside at some restaurant, and he's like, "Oh, meet me here." We're like, "Okay." So we meet him there, and I have this fucking giant gelato that I'm eating because I'm a fat American, and all I do is eat and drink while I'm over there. And he's like, "Where you guys want to go? You guys want some drinks?" So we go like, yeah, we're going to go here. He goes, no, don't go there. That's a fucking tourist place. So he takes us down like 3 alleys into this one little place that looks like fucking super rinky-dink. He's like, all right, we'll take 3 of these. And it's essentially sangria. €2 for a giant glass of sangria.
Go. That's a place.
Meanwhile, the whole time we were there, we were paying like €5 for a tiny-ass beer.
Yep.
Right? So he takes us. We start drinking, and this whole place is full of hot Spanish chicks. Like... And they're all staring at him because he's the only black dude in the restaurant. He's got the curly hair, and we're just being obnoxiously loud. We're the loud Americans. Yeah. He's telling me these stories. He's just being super loud, and they're all staring at him. I'm like, they're looking at us. Stop being so loud. He goes, no, this is what I am. It's fine. It's fine. It's like Madrid was great, but I'm really looking forward to going back to Spain. I think this April we may go to Cuba instead. But I do want to go back to Spain maybe next September and go to the south of Spain. Check out like the.
Maybe I should make the stop in Spain on the way home from
Dude,
Vienna. In
Spain in September is fucking awesome. The weather's perfect. It's like 80 degrees, no humidity, and you just fucking chill. And there's fucking ham everywhere. It's delicious.
Jamón.
Dude, I ate so much jamón ibérico when I was over there. The Iberian ham. This is how good the food is over there. The food is so good. I don't eat seafood. While I was in Spain, I ate sardines. Fucking disgusting. But I ate them, and they were delicious. I ate paella. Fucking, I don't like seafood. I ate an entire bowl of fucking shrimp that had the face on it still. And the fucking rice, all that shit. It was so good. It was all fresh. And it was cheap. And it was like, literally, all I did there was eat, drink, and nap.
Siestas.
And when you go to the fucking beach, titties everywhere. There's titties everywhere on the beach. Everywhere you look, you see a tit. It's fucking phenomenal. It's so good. It's so good. I recommend everybody who's listening to this to go to Spain.
I want to go.
Even if you don't like seafood and you don't like alcohol.
I love seafood. I like alcohol.
We found a place in Barcelona when we went. I forget the name of it. I can get the name if you guys want to find out. But it was a place that does their own. It's a winery essentially. You walk in and there's just barrels of wine everywhere. They give you a little cup. You try all the wine barrels have like a little spout. You try the wine and you pick the one you want. And then when you sit at your table, they bring you a giant jug of that wine. We drank so much wine and we ate so much food. The bill was like $50 for the both of us. Nicole got so drunk. We're walking back to the hotel. She's screaming at the top of her lungs at like 12 at night in Barcelona, "God's a woman." Because she heard the Ariana Grande song. Literally, I'm holding on to her as we're walking through the streets. And she's like, "God's a woman." God, I still make fun of her for that.
I
get her
I
into-
might make fun. I might if I would have
Oh,
known that.
it's so
3
good.
hours ago. I
Oh,
might
it was
have.
so good. I threw her into the into the hotel room,
Yeah.
and she's like, "God's a woman." I'm like, "Yeah, God's a
So-
woman. Go take a
so
shower."
at the
Stinky.
wedding. I'm requesting that be played by the DJ.
Oh, she's gonna love it.
So what else went on this year?
Fucking craziness, man. Fucking
Anything in politics?
the whole country's falling to shit. Isn't that
All
right?
right.
Is this falling to shit?
Yes.
This is fucking getting crazier.
Yes.
It's revealed.
But nobody's. I mean, yeah, people are upset and like anti.
I'm upset.
But like you see it overseas in societies at Paris, the yellow vest. Like you were saying, John,
Monsieur.
when it comes down to protesting and whether it's for like labor shit
They
or
sprayed
social
shit.
shit,
They sprayed horse shit.
they get down.
They get mad.
Here,
But
They
they
even
lo-
made guillotine.
But
We
they
haven't-
but they lose all their wars.
they
we have
made fucking guillotine. man.
asshole fucking president that's clearly shown he can't run the country. He's driven out everybody that knows anything more than him. I mean, come on, Mathis. I'm surprised Mathis didn't slit his throat in the middle of the fucking White House.
Like-
And be like, all right,
Wait, we're talking about Trump or Macron?
no, we're talking about Trump.
Okay.
I'm talking about Trump.
Okay.
Because Mathis resigning, which was an
Yeah, that was crazy.
amazing letter.
When I saw that letter, I was like, shit.
I knew it was coming because it was hinted at, but I figured like he's gonna hold out to the last possible minute because he feels he's protecting the country. He's a Marine. He's got that mentality. I would totally think he would slit that motherfucker's throat before he would leave his position, and nobody would convict him of anything because
They would cover his ass.
The-
Like, no, I didn't see that. I
the
don't know what
oath.
happened.
No, but the oath is
He fell in it. He fell.
enemies,
Trump?
domestic,
Trump fell. He fell down.
domestic or
Yeah.
into
Foreign or domestic.
foreign or domestic. No, I'm like, damn, he's pulling, but like, there's still a contingent of this country that's just totally thinking he's doing the right thing because it's not the status quo, it's not this, but I'm sorry, it's not the right thing. We can't. We're like you said, we're losing ground on
Very much. Education,
everything.
economy, just real social justice, environment. We're not winning anywhere.
No, totally.
No tiger's blood.
Our military is winning, but simply by brute force because they're bigger.
No, but our military's not winning. This whole bullshit about defeating ISIS is not true.
Well, what is ISIS?
Bunch of camel fuckers.
Yeah,
ISIS,
fine, they
ISIS
are,
is,
but
ISIS is like Cobra to G.I. Joe.
and as Cobra has
You know?
always found a way to gear back up after defeat,
Yep.
they're sitting in the wayside. Al Qaeda's another one. Al Qaeda's totally just sitting and waiting, and I know for a fact.
You don't hear that name anymore.
no,
Al Qaeda
Or to Taliban.
or Taliban.
not so much
But they're still
because
there.
of what did I recently read in
Insurgents.
Afghanistan?
You know what's interesting? I was reading. I just
Rebels.
I picked up, or Nicole got me for Christmas, the new Steve McCurry book.
Okay.
And for those who don't know, Steve McCurry is the guy who shot the famous Afghan photo.
Mm.
And in the 80s, Steve McCurry would go into Afghanistan with the Mujahideen during the Soviet invasion. And he was very close to the Mujahideen and the Taliban. And just it was interesting reading all this stuff about the Taliban and the Mujahideen in like a very positive light during that time. And then in my lifetime, when you hear the Taliban, it's not at all anything positive whatsoever.
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know,
Yeah, he shot that photo.
nor would I care.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize. Oh, that one. She's.
Yeah.
Here's
I
the
always
thing.
thought she was hot.
I wouldn't know,
Nah.
nor would I care, because there's enough terrorists here in the United States terrorizing people. So why the hell should we care about what's going on in the Middle East when there's terrorists and there's bullshit and there's all types of social problems going on?
Agreed,
in
but
America?
we have to deal with both.
Okay, but
And
we're
while,
not dealing with
no,
both.
we're not. While there's more emphasis paid outside of our borders, I agree totally that we should emphasize more within our borders first because there's that issue,
which
and
is
then extend outward.
which is why Charlotte
We can't
popped off the way it did.
we can't preach something outside of our borders if we're not dealing with it within our borders.
Yep. In America right now, I feel like it's a hypocrite. It's being a hypocrite about everything, and it's like,
Totally.
oh, social justice and freedom and liberty and liberating people, but you're oppressing people. You're not giving people justice. You're murdering your own citizens, and but we
I mean,
should
come on. 2 kids have
what
freaking
the
died in custody
fuck.
with this whole immigration bullshit.
Yeah, 2 kids died in.
So and to bring up immigration, why still to this date, almost the end of 2018, no one can answer this question for me. If you're gonna kick out the parents who are illegal immigrants who came here illegally, snuck into the country,
why are you keeping the kids?
why are you keeping their illegal children? Why? Why not send them back with their parents?
Which is the tie to the parents staying here, because especially if they've been born here.
So get rid of the parent, get rid of the child.
But that's the thing. If
Keep the
the
parent with the
child's
child.
been born here,
No, these are kids that
Oh,
have
these
not
are
been born
kids.
here.
oh, they're not.
Yeah, these are migrant kids.
So it's like,
Yeah, that's what they put all the
what
kids
is
in these
going
camps.
on? Now there was a report that was out, and we talked about this on previous episodes, where they admitted losing thousands of kids.
You know where
They don't know where they're at.
You know where they ended up, right?
Area
I like to
51.
think they end up working for some secret space program.
Nope.
You know,
They end
that's
up-
just my
They
imagination.
ended up in
Starship
They ended
Troopers.
up in Los Angeles, secret societies for the pedophiles that run Hollywood.
I don't know. I like to think they were working for like the military.
They ended up at a pizzeria in Washington D.C.
You know, it's but that's another thing that happened. this
Becoming
year,
assassins.
You know. And
Yeah,
that- but
Korean assassins.
But serious, that was another thing, a big thing that's been released this year, and for some reason people still aren't upset about it. And like I was with some people over the weekend because we just had like the Christmas holiday. If you
Festivus.
celebrate that, you know,
Festivus for the rest of us.
I don't really celebrate. I don't celebrate it. It's not my holiday, but I'll go to just go with the flow, right? But it's not something that I celebrate. But the people I was with, they go to Catholic church, they go to mass and all that stuff, and I'm just like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, how can you be a part of this religion and still know that they're contributing to pedophiles and child
Speaking of
rapists
2018
and
in the
shit? It's
Catholic
like,
Church,
what
though
the
they've had
fuck,
some,
man.
they've had
Oh
some
yeah,
revealing
it's been a
shit
hell of a
this
year for them.
for the Catholic Church. They've touched a lot of fucking dicks, little baby dicks. I don't know. 2018 has been a year for me of
And
outrage.
people aren't upset.
No, there are.
That's
no,
what I don't
there-
get.
People,
There's
people are
not
upset.
enough
No,
that
people are
we're
not
we're not
upset.
burning shit. We're not tearing things
You
down.
know what it is? We've become too complacent as a
No,
society.
I
who's
get that.
People aren't upset, man.
think about it this way.
People are more upset about the Kardashians.
Yeah. So look, the way I look at it is this: when you look at a society like the French, who have France is a very old country, right? They have a history of revolution. They have a history of taking heads of kings and queens and politicians. The United States has never had a revolution like that, right? And maybe it's because we're a very young country. Maybe it's because we have, our government is very different than everybody else's government, right? We are a very well-armed country.
Are you discounting the Civil War?
Yeah, I'm discounting the Civil War. It's because the Civil War didn't overthrow the government.
True. Okay.
So the Civil War was essentially a bunch of people saying, well, we don't think, okay, depending on how you view the Civil War, some people say it's about slavery, some people say it's about economy. Most people would say, and the way it's taught, is about slavery. The Civil War is about the United States saying, listen, it's not okay to have slaves. The South separates, becomes a confederacy, and the North, the Union, is like, well, okay, you can't do that because we can't have a fucking divided country, you dumb sons of bitches. So they fight, and then we get it back, and now we have the current United States of America. However, we've never had a situation where the entire country looks at the government and is like, the fuck are you doing? Can't do that. No. And then we've never had a coup d'etat. We've never had a thing where the entire country says, we don't want you in power. You won't give up power, so we're going to fucking take your head off.
Well, that's why I'm baffled by the fact that the checks and balances in place by the Constitution aren't working. The Republican Party's not holding the executive administration accountable. it's whatever goes, and that's it. And
Yeah.
I mean, judicially, yeah, there's been some Supreme Court rulings keeping the asylum and the ban and stuff at bay and preventing worse atrocities, but things haven't been brought to the forefront in regards to the legislative branch or the judicial branch and keeping the executive in check. It's just things are kind of being accepted, and therefore, yeah, there's a little bit of outroar. Media makes a little bit of outroar, but there
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
nobody's got, or nobody seems to have the wherewithal or power to say, all right, enough of the bullshit. And then extended from that, since those that we've placed in power through the three branches aren't doing their job, the public, I can't think of words now. Great. Anyway.
Alcohol would do that.
No, it's not the alcohol. It's because I'm fucking 2 brain cells away from like being alive. The public being
The citizenry?
holding people, holding the
The-
government accountable, like we see in other countries. Like enough's enough.
Yeah. Well, I think the main issue is that.
This motherfucker is gonna get reelected in 2020.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's a contingent in
Yes.
the middle of America.
Everybody is
of
all
white
about
middle class
Mhm.
workers that have lost their jobs because
who are
this economy-
mad.
Who this economy's tanking, and they're gonna still the rhetoric's gonna be that because the Democratic Party's got control now, they've allowed this. I can't do anything. Blah blah blah.
There was a video that came out I saw last night from Now This.
Mm-hmm.
They put out those little mini clips.
Yep.
And it was a video about it was a bunch of old people, elderly people talking about complaining about millennials and how they had this and they had that, and in their in the old people's generation they were like this, they were like that. And at first I'm just watching it and I'm like, okay, what are they, and then it gets it takes a twist and I'm like, well, what are they really trying to say with this video, right? And basically they were saying the old people were just like, yeah, I know you're lazy, I know you're not going to pay attention, I know you don't care about this, I know you don't care about that, I know you all about YOLO and all that shit, but me,
You're all about YOLO. That's
they were
amazing.
like me,
He said
I'm
you're
gonna
all
go
about
out and
YOLO.
vote. And they were
I
like,
just saw that. Yeah.
but and they were like, I know you're not gonna go vote, I know you don't care about these issues, I know you're upset.
Oh yeah, that video. Yeah.
But I'm gonna go out and vote.
Yeah, I'm
and
gonna go out and
I'm
vote.
gonna go there and make sure shit happen. I'm gonna make. And I was like, oh, this is fucked up.
Yep. And
But it's true.
it strikes a chord.
Because they were like, we're gonna be the ones who always show up at the polls every single time
At every election.
to make shit happen.
Yep.
And you won't. And I was like, that's harsh because it's the truth.
I have a real mixed feeling because I look at I have a general mixed feeling on a lot of things, political,
I know.
outrage, race, social justice, all
What are
this
your
stuff.
feelings on race?
Not even that they like just
Speak up.
yeah, I don't know. It's just like I feel like
I mean, motherfucker, you like sidekicks? Fucking talk.
I know. I feel like everybody is, especially when it comes to white people, I feel like they're like a lot of white people that I know or in general are like so quick to be like, well, we have to be super inclusive about everything. And I feel like it's so ingenuine.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's so like I treat people the way I want to be treated. And that's it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, listen, generally you don't have to be an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
I treat everybody
What's that got to do with race?
because people will treat people of different races differently.
True.
So if you go into a room and you meet somebody new for the first time, they will treat you differently based on your race. A white person will treat a black person different the first time they meet them than when they meet a white person the first time different than when they'll meet an Asian person the first
I
time
call it
different.
the ooh-ah effect.
The ooh-ah effect?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I want to hear more about that.
Yeah. Wait, let him finish.
Please continue.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm serious. I called it wow.
No, but it's a weird thing. Like I don't know if it's just that I've gotten like I've fine-tuned myself to notice it more, but like everybody's just walking on eggshells. Everybody is hyper aware of what they're saying. But like even if you say something that can be considered off color, but isn't in like the context of what they're saying, the way they intended it to say it, isn't malicious. It will the default position is always malicious. There's always a malicious, like no matter what you say, even if you say something you're like, well, that's kind of like when you make a dirty when you say something and it sounds dirty, but I didn't mean it that way. You can say something like that is racial and like I didn't mean it that way, but everybody will always take it that way. But it's like that to the extreme. Like they just turn that shit up, and you're always on the lookout for hearing for shit that's like not okay. Even when it's not intentionally.
One thing
meant
I
to
always
be that way.
always tell people, I was like, never tell me, like never say, hey, I don't mean to sound racist, but like
You
just
should never
say
fuck
what
that
the
up.
fuck you're gonna say.
Yeah.
Because if you tell me I don't mean to sound racist, I'm like, well, you sound racist. But if you just told me some shit,
Right.
I'm like, oh, he just told me some fucked up shit.
If you-
But if you tell me, hey, I don't mean to sound racist, I'm like, oh, this dude's a fucking racist.
If you preface
because you
it with-
thought about it before you said it. It's like, just say this shit.
Well, sometimes so sometimes when people say that,
No, I'm just like, yo, say what you gotta say. Don't.
but they preface it because they know they're talking to somebody who's probably black, and they're like, listen, what I'm about to say is probably going to sound racist. It probably is.
No, but the problem is, I mean, we've done it here in this living
No,
room
told
the same
y'all.
way. No. But
I'm
that's
like,
because
let this shit out, man.
No, but I think we do it because amongst us we're cool.
Yeah.
We know where each other stands. We know our bonds. We're good. The audience doesn't.
True.
And I think that I know me personally, that's why I might give the disclaimer before.
Like, I didn't say it like that. That's not what I meant.
Sometimes you have to do that.
I just wanted to know if you wanted a piece of chicken.
No, because there might be one day I might be Secretary General or running for some political office. And
We
you
got
know,
videotapes.
Yeah, exactly.
And this podcast comes up. You're like, fuck.
Exactly.
Standing in front of the cabinet of Congress, like John Smalls.
Did you say this?
Did he say that? Like, wow.
It was a long time ago. I like beer.
At least do it like Samuel L. Jackson would, please.
Oh, I saw Die Hard with a Vengeance yesterday or Christmas Day. Why do you keep calling me Jesus? Do I look Puerto Rican? No, they keep calling me Jesus. No, hey Zeus. You know, like a father of Apollo. Like I'll slide a lightning bolt up your ass. Yo, that shit had me rolling. Samuel Jackson is the best. He might be the best black person on entertainment. Why do you keep calling me Jesus? Do I look Puerto Rican to you? Yo, that shit, 1995 in New York City, that shit had me fucking rolling. Yeah.
I tried getting the lady to watch Die Hard Christmas Day. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's a Christmas movie. She's like, there's guns, there's violence. It's not a Christmas movie. I'm
Welcome
like,
to the
it's a
party,
Christmas
pal.
movie.
Okay, so Nakatomi Plaza, Los Angeles, Century City, Christmas, 1988. It's a goddamn Christmas movie.
Never forget.
Never forget. Never forget John McClane. How dare you?
I
The
mean,
best part is that they had, and this is terrible.
I mean, Lethal Weapon.
Reginald, the guy who plays the cop.
Yeah, and pal.
They had him hosting.
Hold up.
Uh-oh, is there breaking news?
Hold up.
Is there breaking news?
Hold up.
Breaking news.
Listen. The only reason I'm going to bring this up is I got a text from one of my friends who ain't even into this shit. All right. So on Instagram a few minutes ago,
The Life from Manhattan.
some people posted that there was a electrical fire in Queens.
Yep.
Right.
I just heard about that too.
I saw a
post.
picture. I was like, it's not a big deal, but people have been, taking photos of it because the whole sky is lit up.
What?
Right? Yeah, in Queens. Watch. Let me pull up the picture. It's all lit up.
Yeah, I saw a post on Facebook just a few minutes ago saying that.
So, let me just search. Let me just search this one dude. We had a good
Point
picture.
Break count as a martial arts?
The
movie?
only reason I'm
Unfortunately,
bringing it
it's
up is because my boy was like, "Yo, it's a possible." Hold up.
Aliens.
Yeah, But
Yeah.
let me just show you.
Somebody posted on Facebook. What the fuck was
Oh,
up with that
fucking
light coming out of
A.
Manhattan right now?
Is that that?
There we go.
That's the
What the
Starbucks.
fuck is that? This shit. Look.
Whoa! What the?
Look at that. Look at
yeah,
that.
what the fuck is that?
That's in Queens right now.
my
What?
friend
Right
just
now?
posted, like
Yeah.
Stranger Things shit.
Oh
So check this out. So my friend sends me this. He was like, yeah, he sends me the whole article from New York, CBSLocal.com,
no
LaGuardia
way,
Airport.
dude! The Con Explosion.
Con Ed
Look at this.
Transformer explosion.
Look at that photo.
Which one? The one.
Con Ed. That's
no,
the
I
photo my
know.
friend in Queens just posted. The Con Ed explosion tonight was quite literally
But
a little
Where's
too
the
close to.
location of that?
Just all over Queens. But check this out. So for my boys in Queens, they were like, yeah, they just lost power. Everything looks weird. The sky is all lit up.
Oh shit!
But the only reason I bring it up is my boy, who's not into this shit, he was like, yo, that's a likely story,
Yep.
but that shit was an alien landing.
Look at that shit. Look at that fucking light.
Look at it. Looks crazy.
That's fucking crazy.
The sky's lit up.
What the fuck? That's really similar to like the fucking quote unquote SpaceX launch where everybody was staring at the fucking sky and like, what the fuck is that?
Minutes
Yo,
ago.
that's crazy.
Oh, so
But look at that fucking photo. Look at that shit.
let me talk about the aha moment real
Yeah.
quick before it gets too late.
Wait. Tell us what the fucking ooh ah thing is.
Oh, I call it the ooh ah. You know, it's like or the aha, or just it's what people have been doing to me for years. It's like they see me as a black man. They see me as a thug. However they choose to identify me as, right? And I'm just like, whatever. I'm an artist. So I'll meet people, all types of people, all types of races, and they've all done it. And it's just like, oh yeah, you know, hey, how you doing? Oh yeah, I do this, I do that. Oh well, yeah. And it's just like whatever. Give me a bullshit answer, or they'll treat me like a certain way, and I'm like, oh okay, I get it. You know, you're that type of person. And then it's either someone will tell them about me, or they'll see my work, and then they'll come back to me, and it'll just be like, oh, ooh, yo, I saw what you did. Ooh, oh, yo, I didn't know you did all this. I'm like, I told you I was an artist.
In regards to the art, really?
Just in regards to me, you know, and I'm just talking about like situations where there was like friends of family or family friends or colleagues or coworkers, and I've gotten that for years, and I always look at them like, really? Well, I didn't know you did this. Like, well, I told you I was an artist and designer, or I told you I'm an artist and designer. So what did you expect? You know, and it's like that ooh ah moment where it's like, oh yeah, but what? Like, what's the doubt? Why do you have doubt? You know, why did you think something else rather than what I actually told you? You know, and like, I've gotten those moments, and when we talk about race, it was like, yeah, it comes up, but it's like I try to make like that person feel like a more of a jackass.
Yeah,
know.
you should.
I'm not
Absolutely.
gonna play that shit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue with you either.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna try to justify myself.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of this year is that, you know, like people being dumb. I feel like it's a lot of it's people being dumb, people being outraged, and then a lot of people just being quiet because they don't want to jump into that pool of messy.
I get that
of
shit.
messy fucking like if you've
Be
noticed
like, I ain't dealing with it.
from like 3 years ago till now, like I don't know if you guys remember me, like 3 or 4 years ago, I was super vocal on Facebook about a lot of political things, especially gun shit.
Yeah.
In the past like 3 years, I've completely stopped posting about political stuff.
Well, that's age.
Yeah, but a lot of it's also like I feel a lot of the stuff that I believe personally about guns and politics is very personal, and I feel like a lot of it's very rational for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand that a lot of people don't have that; they are unable to rationalize. So I don't put it out there anymore because I don't want to have that argument. I don't want to.
It's a stupid
Right.
argument.
Tiring
Yeah,
to
I don't-
justify your
I've had-
point to
right.
the ignorance of others.
But you know the thing is, like I've realized that even if somebody doesn't like, no matter how much I explain it to somebody, like if I have a conversation with somebody who's anti-gun, I will never. I've learned I will never break through that barrier that they have of guns are bad.
Well,
Just the same with religion. Like I've had.
That's any point
I've had
in
that
any
conversation.
topic.
I have
in
that
this
conversation all
type
the
of
time, or I
society
used to.
nowadays.
Right, because everything is so polarized, everything is so political,
Agreed.
everything is so controlled in such a minutia. You know, it's like if I have a conversation, like, oh, like I've had this conversation with some people at work, like, oh, why do you like guns? I'm like, it's not that I like guns, it's that I believe. If you believe in the Constitution, if you believe in the freedom of speech, if you believe in the freedom of privacy, you know, if you believe in the protection of a cruel and unusual punishment, then there's no reason why you shouldn't believe in the Second Amendment. If you believe in the first, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, all the way down the line, there's no reason why you shouldn't believe in the Second Amendment, because the Second Amendment, the First Amendment is to use your voice to fight the government. The Second Amendment is there to make sure that if the government decides to fight you back, that you have a means to fight back physically.
Yeah.
You know? And we've gotten to the point in society, specifically with guns, not counting anything else that's going on in society, is like, if I have to explain to you that the Second Amendment isn't about hunting, then there's nothing I can do for you.
There's no cause.
There's no reason why I have to. Because listen, I've spoken to a lot of people who are younger than me and some people who are older than me, and they're like, "Well, I don't like guns." I'm like, "That's fine. You don't have to like guns. I'm not saying you have to own a gun. I'm not saying you have to be a gun nut. I'm not saying you have to. All I'm saying is that the Second Amendment is there for a reason. And if you say the Second Amendment is outdated, then that means they're all outdated because they were all written at the same time. If you think a bunch of white guys from 1776 were wrong about the freedom to own a weapon, then you're absolutely wrong. But that also means, by your same logic, that the fact that we can talk about anything with the First Amendment is also wrong.
It's all outdated.
If you believe that Colin Kaepernick is correct, if you believe what he's doing is correct, but you believe the Second Amendment is wrong, then you were misguided, because all of that is, and for all I know, Colin Kaepernick is probably anti-gun. If I had to make an assumption about the man,
No, actually, I don't think that at all.
Well,
I think the public and the media have portrayed it, or even the administration has kind of like blurred the line not to deal with the issue, with the racism issue. They've changed the narrative of the story and made it applicable to being against the flag and being
It
against.
has nothing to do with that.
No, it has nothing to do with it at all.
no, at all.
Colin Kaepernick and the athletes and whomever is behind that movement are behind bringing attention to the fact that there's still racism going on in this country. There's still police brutality going on. Has nothing to do with the Second Amendment. Has nothing to do with the flag. But rhetoric has shaped the narrative and created the backlash to kind of distort that message and dissuade him. I mean, I believe that dude's got a clearly easily sued against the NFL in repressing his promotion, like him getting hired to play football again.
Yeah, they blackballed him.
Because there's such more shittier quarterbacks being hired than him.
But my whole thing was like this whole idea of like, I feel that I keep a lot of my opinions to myself because I don't want to be caught up in that storm. This is when the cat tells us that we have to leave.
Sparks?
This is like, I feel like the cat. I mean, I feel like fuck. I feel like shit. I fucked up. I feel like the entire essence of 2018 is you're either super vocal about racist shit, you're super vocal about quote unquote social justice shit,
You with us or against us?
or you're that really large majority of people who is like, well, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to have to devote the time to trying to educate you on why I believe this. You know, it's ridiculous with a lot of things. You know, whether it's guns, whether it's free speech, whether it's gender, whether it's, you know, all these different things. The Second oh shit, okay,
Like, I feel like
snap.
when it comes to a lot of stuff in the world today, that people are just lost, uneducated, stuck in a bubble. Like, I'll say it a gazillion times, and I'll continue to say it. Like, anybody who's against self-defense has never been a victim of a crime. You know, any type of crime, any type of battery, any type of assault, a fight. You know, you haven't been through something where your life has been threatened. Because if you've been in a situation and I'm not talking about some bullshit kindergarten situation. I'm talking about a real situation that you can't handle, and you have to protect you and yours, your property, your life, your family, your whoever. You're going to be like, I wish I had a weapon, whether it would be a pocket knife or a steak knife or a bat, something to protect your family, to protect your life. And if you haven't been in those situations, how can you tell somebody who's been in those situations that they shouldn't have a gun?
Yeah.
Like, no, not everybody lives in a place where the police can get there in less than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, it's such bullshit. And every
That's-
time I get in these conversations and I hear people say this stuff, I'm like, yo, tell that to a victim of sexual assault. That victim's going to want to get a gun. That victim's going to want to get a weapon.
Yeah.
To feel comfortable about the shit that she's went through.
Yeah.
So tell her that she shouldn't carry a gun.
Yeah.
And they never will.
I've had this conversation a ton with a lot of different people.
It's fucking stupid.
And the conclusion is, well, I don't feel comfortable with having a gun. I'm like, that's fine. That's not the argument. The argument is whether or not you should be telling somebody whether or not they can have one.
Yep.
And whether or not the government should be telling you. And then it turns into this whole thing where like, oh, well, why don't you just, we have to register. I'm like, no, that is the opposite of the entire point of the Second Amendment. And I don't mean to make this all about the Second Amendment. There are other issues this year that also like wig me out, like the gender thing and a lot of different things, like political correctness and
How many genders are there now? I lost count.
7,004.
So that Game Boy thing I just sent, how many were there? 8?
Yeah,
That was funny.
It's crazy, but like it's one of those things where it's like, listen, if it's for me in my mind, and I could be totally off base, I could be totally crazy. In my mind, it's super simple. As an American, do you or do you not believe in the Constitution? Yes or no? If your answer is yes, then the Second Amendment should be a super easy. Is the Constitution perfect? No, of course not. But it provides you with very basic things, and it's the reason why America is the way it is. And of course, the argument is, well, no other country has that many gun deaths. Well, obviously, because no other country has the Constitution. That guarantees you the inalienable right to say what you want to say to the government, and they cannot act against you for that. The government
I don't think that's why they don't have the gun deaths, though. I think it's more the gun deaths in the United States are completely different than it has nothing to do with the Constitution.
Well, no. The fact that we have as many gun deaths more than any other country is because we're allowed to have guns.
It's not even that. I think it's just the same reason why the United States has the highest occupancy of insane people.
Which is what?
Than any other country.
We ignore the
on
problem.
This planet.
Well, that too.
We have the high. It's not even a prison population,
Right.
Let alone the majority of people in prison shouldn't even be in prison.
Yeah.
Right. We have the highest capacity of mentally. Just I don't even know the word for it. Just can't say insane, but
Just unstable.
mentally unstable
Yeah.
people.
Well, I mean, the
And
way
that's the real issue. Like,
Yeah.
when there's a violent school shooting, or there's a violent shooting at some club, or when there's a violent attack, nobody ever says, "Well, why did they do that?" They just say, "Oh, it's the guns. It's the guns." Like,
Sure.
no, it's the gun didn't get up and make this dude do this shit.
Yeah.
So even if you get rid of all the guns, pipe bombs, knives,
Yeah.
there's other sorts of attacks.
Sure.
I'm like, the problem is it's a mental health issue.
Right. Well, the whole thing I was trying to get to was, like I said, I had this conversation with a lot of people, and they're like, well, and I see it posted on Facebook 1,000 times. We're the only, quote unquote, we're the only first world country that has this many gun deaths. And the reason is because we have guns. No other look at all the other countries that are first world.
Okay.
UK, France, Australia, Germany. Nobody in those countries has the freedom to own a gun like we do, right? So just by pure mathematics, we're gonna have more injuries and deaths as a result of guns. Just like if we have all the cars and Europe has no cars, we're obviously gonna have more car deaths because we have all the cars. Our population owns all the guns. That's just, for me, that's how I look at it. It's super simple. It's like, aside from, of course, the mental issue that we have within this country, which is a huge problem that we ignore, from a pure math perspective, there are more guns in homes here than there are anywhere else in the world. In the first world country, not counting places like Pakistan or Afghanistan, where you can just go buy an AK-47 in full auto for fucking whatever reason. You can just go have that, right?
Mexico, shit like
yeah,
that.
you can just fucking have that. But in the United States, and when I see this argument, I tell people, like, listen, you're looking at it the wrong way. Why do we have all these gun deaths? We have all the guns. That it's a pure math thing. If you have a country with all cars and a country with no cars, which country do you think is going to have the most car deaths?
But I'm more concerned when I hear about gun deaths. I'm more concerned about like not even drugs, not even low income neighborhoods. The thing that gets me is like mass shootings.
Sure, which is statistically still very low.
Still very low, but it happens a lot.
It happens a lot, but that's the
It happens a lot more here than anywhere else.
Well,
and
also
that's what
because-
draws the attention.
well because we're the only place, like again, that has access to guns like we do. But that's gonna be a problem that we're always gonna run into now because that cycle has already started, right? So there's no way to stop that.
It's an easy out.
Right. So how do you stop mass shootings? You really don't. If you really cared about the issue of people being shot, then you would first look at handguns, not rifles, which is my main concern, my main problem with this whole argument. The argument's irrational. You're not addressing an issue based on the numbers. You're basing the issue based on aesthetics, on what looks scarier.
The AR-15.
Right. If you look at
Everybody targets that.
if you look at the yearly gun deaths, I will guarantee you that the most amount of people who are killed by a gun are done by a handgun because you can conceal a handgun. How many people a year are shot in Chicago with a handgun versus shot with a rifle? I'm willing to bet that more people are shot with a handgun than they are with a rifle. My problem, again, is not to ban. My solution is to ban guns, or I don't even have a solution. My idea is be rational about it. If you're going to make an argument about a gun or guns in general, first look at the purpose. Look at why we have a Second Amendment. Realize it's not for hunting, it's for self-preservation and to fight the government. Does it sound paranoid? Sure. Are we going to fight the government? Probably not.
It's
But
not a probably. You just won't.
right. But you should look at the Second Amendment the same way you look at the First Amendment. Think about the First Amendment when the Pentagon Papers got leaked and the Washington Post published those papers and the New York Times published those papers. They went to court because the government tried to stop them from publishing those papers. The court ruled under the First Amendment, you are the press is allowed to. And that is the same thing that you should look at with guns. If you let the government have complete control over who has guns, where they have guns, and have a whole registry, it defeats the purpose of the amendment. And for me, the First Amendment and the Second Amendment go hand in hand because both of those allow you to protect yourselves from the government in the event that the government takes a turn for the worse. And for all these liberals who are talking shit about Trump and this administration, and who
I'll
are
talk shit about Trump and
Yeah.
this administration.
and it's fine,
I'm not a liberal though.
right? But in general,
Yeah.
the liberals.
I voted for the fucker for
Right.
chaos and anarchy, and I'm
If
not
you-
getting it.
But put yourself. Let's say you're this super progressive, ultra liberal. You believe in 35,000 genders, social justice, everything, right? We'll just go to the extreme left. The extreme left.
Okay.
Pick the most stereotypical person, right? You hate Trump. You think he's a monster. You fucking can't believe all this shit's happening. Why would you let him take away your guns? Why would you? Let's say Obama's still in office.
But hold up. I hear what you're saying. But that's another debate that you should direct towards people who are going at you about
Well,
guns.
this is my thing in general. My thing
This
is,
isn't the place for that. This is a discussion.
yes. Well,
I feel like you're on a soapbox.
I might be on a couple
And
soapboxes.
it's like, don't take it back a bit.
okay.
Get up on that chest over there.
We're not against you.
No, I know. I'm not with you guys. It's in general how I feel about 2018.
I get it.
But I'm using the Second Amendment thing as an overall metaphor for how I feel about everything. So all this stuff that I'm saying about the Second Amendment is the same way I feel about a lot of things, but I don't say it out loud because I don't want to have that conversation because I don't have the time or the mental energy to devote to trying to explain my point, because no matter how you explain your point, there's somebody's going to be out there to find a way to twist it and like manipulate what you're saying, and then you have to defend your position from a twisted, false, like straw man thing.
It's bullshit.
Yeah,
I had
that's the whole thing.
I had a similar conversation, not about guns, but it was very similar to what you just said. Because it was somebody who considers themselves I don't like the word, but because It's already out there. I'm gonna say it. Uber liberal, progressive, supporting all agendas and all this shit, right? So we were having a talk. It was three of us, and I had mentioned the Kavanaugh thing. I was like, "Yo, the guy did some shit 20 years ago, whatever the fuck it was. It was like a long ass time ago, right? Half his life, basically. He did some bullshit when he was in college. Now he's going up in Congress, right? It was Congress, and they're pulling up stuff from his past. This woman saying this woman saying that. I'm not saying he didn't do anything. I'm not saying he's innocent or guilty. I'm just saying, what the fuck is the point of bringing up something from 20 years ago? Because if somebody brings up some shit for me 20 years ago, I'm like, I don't know. I was a fucking jackass growing up. I did a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? But
I could totally say that about myself.
But does that make me the person I was 20 years ago?
I said it about
And
5
that was
years
the thing
ago.
that concerned me about Kavanaugh. I was like, I don't know who this man is. I don't know his life. But I'm pretty sure going to say, like, well, I hope that he's not the same person he was 20 years ago.
Right.
Right. So we get into this conversation, and then the conversation just hits the fan because I'm just like, don't get mad because you can't explain why it's messed up, this, that, and other. Then it just goes to like, how hard it is for women not to say anything. I'm like, okay, if a woman can't say anything 20 years ago, why the fuck is she saying something now?
And they get mad when you say that.
Oh yeah, they get mad.
They get real mad.
It's just like people, they want to say stuff, but they don't want to explain.
Yeah.
With facts.
Right. They
just
wouldn't explain
be
with
stuck in their
they wouldn't be
feelings.
mad.
I'm like, I get it. It's hard for women to report certain shit,
Yeah.
but it's not impossible.
It's not impossible.
And if it is impossible, then what the fuck you want to wait 20 years to say some shit for? Same thing that happened to Cosby. I'm like, don't come back and fucking accuse this man of some shit.
Statute of limitations.
I'm like, I don't know. I feel like this year was a lot of that.
Yeah.
This year was a lot of that bullshit, and I'm like, oh, you're gonna start pulling up dirt. Oh, you crystal clean now? You ain't got no fucking smudges in your past.
Or what happened
The fuck
with
outta here.
Kevin Hart and the Oscars.
Kevin Hart was a punk for that shit, man.
Yeah.
Because he apologized already.
Yeah.
He apologized. He said, yo, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have to apologize again. I'm like, and he backs down.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was something
and
recent.
then he apologized. I was like, you a punk.
But somebody
you apologized again.
But like the whole thing is like Kevin Hart, somebody who's so popular, somebody who everybody liked
Yeah.
and enjoyed his stuff. When he was going for the Oscars, that all of a sudden that came up
Because people want to dig up dirt, man.
because they have nothing better to do.
There's two groups of people you cannot offend in this country. Two groups. You cannot offend the LGBTQ community, and you cannot offend the Jewish community.
Yep.
Take a look at 21 Savage. I don't like his music. It's not my style. But I'm going to bring him up, and I'm going to bring up Jay-Z. 21 Savage, in one of his lines, he says something, I'm taking Jewish money. Not taking like he's taking money from Jewish, but he was saying like he's getting Jewish money, right?
Is that the LeBron thing the other day?
No, this is some rapper. But and I get like when you read the lyrics, I'm like I get what he's saying. He's getting money like Jewish people.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden it was like this. Oh, it's anti-Semitic, and then he has to issue an apology. He's like, no, I love Jewish people. You motherfuckers got your. He's like, y'all got y'all business on point. He was like, I want to get money like you.
You know how to make money.
Yeah, and it was a tribute to him
And
to
then
them.
it became a stereotype.
Oh,
Yeah.
But see, it's stereotype. So then it made that same line made me think of like the Jay-Z song. He had the death of OJ came out earlier this year on that 444 album, and Jay-Z was like, how the Jews own all the property, right? He wants to get own property like that, and they came at him. But the thing with Jay-Z, he was like, he didn't apologize. He was like, it's true. He's like, I'm not gonna apologize for what I'm saying and what I know.
But you know what? Jay-Z got enough fuck you money where he was like, fuck you.
But here's what he also said. He was like, oh, you have no problem with me talking about black people. You didn't have no problem with me using the N-word or degrading women. But as soon as I say something positive about Jewish people, all of a sudden you want to live up to the stereotype. He said that. He was like, you don't want me to talk about the stereotype of Jewish people, but even though it's a positive thing. And I was like, yo, it's fucked up.
It is true.
Those are the two groups that are in touch. And it's what kind of world is that where you can't even make jokes about shit anymore?
That's the world we live in.
You know, it's like
Everybody's hypersensitive. You can't make a joke.
you can't make a joke. You can't make a compliment. You can't
You can't make a compliment about something that's a
you
stereotype.
can't make a metaphor
Nope.
about shit. And it's like
Like, what do you mean by that? So
But-
what do you mean?
but you can go around and degrade everybody else.
Yep.
You can go around and talk
You have
shit
to
about
punch. You have to
everybody
punch
else.
up. You can't You can't, you have to, anything you do now that's being put out into the media or to the public or for consumption has to be, follow a certain line, Everything has to be, which is why podcasting is so cool, because you can literally say whatever, and as,
now.
you're right, yourself, it's just telling us it's time to go. You can say whatever you want, and, that's why, like, podcasts, like Bill Burr talks about it all the time, Joe Rogan talks about it all the time, Ari Shaffir talks about it, all these comedians are like, yeah, I can just choose not to have that advertiser. If I'm, if I say something they don't like, okay, bye. I'll give you your money back, and I'll find another ad. It's not even a problem. I pay for all my own. We pay for our own hosting, all this stuff. We'll just do it ourselves. We don't have to rely on anybody else to do this, and that's why, unlike radio, where you have to appease advertisers, it's that's why I like this format. But there's a lot of that. Like, you have to follow a certain line, otherwise you have to start. You just fall on your heels justifying everything you say.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think like we've talked about this briefly off the podcast, and how I really feel like America is we're just losing it as a whole. As a society, man, we are constantly falling behind shit, and we're not advancing.
No.
As the number one nation on the planet, we should be the number one nation on the planet, and we are not. We are falling behind fast.
You know why?
So I relate that to Empire's fall. I mean, you look throughout history.
This is our time.
This might be. I mean, we're young in years, but I mean, when you got idiots running the shit and people not speaking up to, I mean, where are you supposed to go? And if you're gonna not acknowledge that environmental, technological, sociological, psychological issues are developing faster than your conscience, and you don't accept, like, there's change coming, and you don't acknowledge that and do something about it, I mean, you're going to doom the society you preside over. And I think that's what we're seeing. I mean, the Roman Empire, all those ancient empires that we've studied throughout history, I mean, yeah, they've had a lot more formative years. I mean, we're only at 200 and change, which is nothing. But
Right, which is why we still have growing pains to go through.
we might, but if we don't have leadership to, I hate saying guide us through, because I think they're a bunch of fucking idiots and don't know any better than most civilians. It's just a matter of, you build this rhetoric, the chick from Queens that just got,
Ocasio-Cortez?
yeah. Granted, I appreciate what she's trying to do,
Sure.
but she's got no stature, she's got no clout yet, she's got no track record. She's just pissing the establishment off.
Which I think is okay.
It is, but
I don't agree with a lot of the shit she does or says
nor
personally,
do I.
but I
Nor
think it's
do
okay.
I.
Yeah.
But I do agree that something has to change. This old guard has to go. I mean,
She's the first step in a better direction overall. But
she's not going to get the support she needs internally.
right.
No.
She's by herself. She's alone.
She's already got the old guard against her from what you read, because, like, who's this young? Not even it has. I don't even think it has anything to do with that she's female.
Is it
But
age?
That she's this young nobody that just got elected in, hasn't put in her dues,
And she's on the heel. She's clearly elected because of the current administration. She's not so much elected on the fact that she has the credentials to be where she's at, but because she rode the wave of outrage. And again, this is not saying that I don't think she's qualified. I think she's, if you meet the requirements, you meet the requirements. But clearly, she's in that position because she's young, and the young voters want somebody who looks like them.
which I think is fine now. I mean,
yeah,
similar
but-
to like Beto O'Rourke. Beto O'Rourke. I mean, I didn't know this until I talked to
Keep
him.
Texas
No,
fucking
wait,
Cruz.
Wait. Never mind the Texas part, but I didn't
Zodiac
know
killer.
I didn't know this until I talked to my brother about it. Like right after the election, I'm like, all right, who the fuck is this guy that he can't be fucking Ted Cruz in state?
Can't be
And
the
they-
Zodiac killer.
They're already promoting him to like the next presidential candidate, a la Barack Obama back in 2000.
Did you say almost Allahu Akbar?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I know my Arabic. So my brother was telling me he's an old school hardcore kid. He comes from hardcore roots. He comes from that like.
And that's music for you guys who are listening who's not familiar. Just
Really? You don't have that on?
Just making sure that they understand what that means.
And then
Not
and
porn.
Then I found and I started reading more into him, and I found a different respect, and I get where he comes from more. But he's gonna have that same type of reaction. He's not gonna garner the support from that old guard that's protecting their fucking livelihood because there's no term limits, even though they're out of touch and they're protecting their own pockets, they're protecting their own interests, and those that I'm putting up false quotes represent in progressing the country, the Constitution, whatnot. I mean, while Ocasio-Cortez, I'm sorry, I believe she means well. I don't think she's going about it right. Nor, I think, especially because she's female and she's a minority. The old
And
guard,
she's young.
and she's young. Well, and she's young.
Everybody there has mad years on her.
The old white guard's just gonna fucking push her down.
Yep. They're gonna. And I had a conversation with somebody recently, a female friend of mine, and she was like, she posts she retweets and reposts all the things Cortez posts. I'm like, look, it's great. I think in theory, a lot of this stuff is cool, but she's not gonna make a lot of headway in Congress. She's not. I'm like, I wish her the best. I hope she does all the things she needs to do, but there are so many obstacles she has to overcome that I would be surprised if she lasts one term, because they're going to make it their mission to keep her from accomplishing anything. Because if they can keep her from accomplishing anything, then her voter base is going to look, well, you didn't do anything. We got you in there, you didn't do anything. So why would we keep you in there? Let's put this other guy in
and
there.
She's
She's gonna be fighting for her life.
I hope she wins. I love an underdog story,
but then
but
it's not just her. It extends to anybody like her.
oh shit, that's
Dude,
so
that looks
that's
crazy.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts. And we're in here when this shit goes down. We're in the fucking studio recording.
Luckily, we're north enough, and
That's just
John, you got that raft ready?
What's it called?
Except the Hudson River is gonna be fucking cold if we go in.
That's crazy.
No, but everybody. I mean, there's a small contingent like Ocasio trying to change the norm the right way, not like Trump, that has no fucking clue about anything, and he's just riding his ego and bravado and narcissism. I mean, one of the questions I was about to pose to like kind of get into the next segment of this podcast to wrap up, because it's getting late.
Yeah, we got to wrap up soon. We're on 2 hours.
What do we hope for 2019? And I mean, granted, yeah, I voted for him because I was like hoping anarchy and chaos would come from the public, realizing government shit, and this is what happens when you vote somebody like this that you think's against the norm. We're not seeing that. All I want is this motherfucker's ego in check. I want him fucking impeached. I want him removed. And I want his ego chopped down like a fucking tree in the redwood forest.
My honest opinion
And it's not going to happen.
what I'm feeling and what I've been feeling for a very long time, I don't want us to go to war. I don't want us to
With who? Ourselves or outside?
either or, man. I don't want it to happen. I feel like, from everything that I feel like everything I've been reading for a decade.
I'm more
everything I've been
concerned. I'm
studying,
more concerned internally.
everything I've been reading for a decade, everything I've been, hearing about, oh, this could happen, everything I've been seeing, like, being built in this country, it's like, it feels like there's certain groups of government agencies or the government, however you want to label it, that know what's going to happen. Like, there's something bad that's going to happen. And I don't want that bad. Whatever it is, man, I just don't want it to happen. I'm like, whether it's a nuclear war, whether it's a civil war, whether it's civil unrest, like, we've seen little bits of it. We've seen how shit can get out of hand in small areas and how the police do nothing. Like, Charlottesville was an eye-opener.
Yep.
I think Ferguson was worse.
Ferguson was...
And I wasn't even here for that.
Ferguson was civil unrest, but but see, Ferguson, they approached it like they approach every situation with blacks, you know, with full force. They went at Ferguson with full force. But look at Charleston. There was the police were there. They didn't do shit.
They denounced the fact
They
that
didn't do shit.
there's a white supremacist threat to this country.
And that threat is continuing to grow.
And especially under this administration,
And it's
because they
like,
feel
whoa, man.
like entitled and embattled to like progress because they have somewhat of a support base.
Yep. So whatever is bubbling, I don't want it to happen. I just wish it was like another way to just let it just die out and fade. Something good will come out of it. Next year, weed is gonna be legal across the board. Maybe
Hopefully that shit evens the whole fucking
maybe
country
that's,
out.
yeah, maybe that's
Maybe that's
what
what
it
we
is.
fucking need. We just need that shit to even everybody out.
Everybody
Be
just
like-
starts
like-
smoking.
like-
Be like, you know what?
You know
man?
what? I'm sorry.
My bad.
Yeah,
No,
I'm sorry.
I mean, my whole thing is like most of these issues, it's like whether it be the whole racism thing. I'm like, if you're a different color, race, creed, whatever next to me, and you do better than me, good for you.
Right.
What's the big fucking deal? I'm like, fine. I just gotta work harder. You're better than me.
People don't see it like that.
I know they don't.
It's fucked up.
I know they don't. And it's the same thing with the whole LGBTQ, whatever other acronyms we're at now.
Yeah.
You have your preferences. Great. No problem. I mean, I have plenty of friends in those communities. I don't think anything less of them. I kiss and hug them anytime I see them. Who gives a fuck? You make more money than me because you're this great. Good for you. I'm like, you're buying me a drink. It's a big fucking deal. I'm like, I think this old mentality has to go. Hi, Sparks.
Yep, I agree.
You agree?
Yeah, one thing I'm fed up with is any type of racial situation. I'm like, dude, I'm 40.
That's the root causes.
I don't want to deal with this shit anymore. I don't want
I
to
mean,
explain myself about this shit
Whether it be
anymore.
domestic or foreign, I mean, when it comes down to it, most of these issues become racist. I mean, Middle East issues. None
Yeah.
of the Arab states, because you're Sunni, Shia, they don't like each other based on that alone. And never mind that you're Sunni, Shia, and then from whatever country and how your beliefs are within that. And that's why, like, that region's never going to be stable.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Hey,
that's our show.
Chico's wrapping it up at 22:30.
Sparks trying to kick us out anyway.
Yep.
Yeah,
Cat's
that's what's going on.
Cat's giving a signal. Ladies and gentlemen,
When
this
she
has been-
comes around, it's like, it's time to go.
This has been episode 32. We would like to thank you for joining us as always. I know this has been a little bit of a different podcast, but we hope you enjoyed it.
Not at all what we planned.
Right, but that's the beauty of this.
But let's hope that tonight we do see some UFOs because whatever's going on in Queens right now in New York,
You know, Will Smith is there with Tommy Lee Jones trying to fight them motherfuckers right now.
some shit.
Some
It's
shit's
not
going down.
Thanos and Thor right now?
You mean Thor and the Valkyrie chick?
No,
From
but I
the new
thought-
Men-
I
the
thought-
new Men in
Now you
Black?
don't know her name?
Oh, Tessa Thompson.
No, but I thought Chris Hemsworth's in there too.
Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson are the new Men in Black,
Yeah.
but not Thanos. Thanos is
No, but
Josh
Josh Brolin too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He plays the young Tom Lee Jones. Oh, I
Yes.
fucked up. All right. My bad. So it's
Hey.
Tessa Thompson, Josh Brolin, and Chris Hemsworth fighting aliens in Queens, New York. The light show's going on, ladies and gentlemen. We fucked up.
No, Gomez fucked up.
Yeah, I
Chico
fucked up. Thank you for joining us, as
just
always.
here.
This is a different type episode, but we enjoy putting this podcast out. Let us know if you
Happy New Year.
Happy fucking New Year. We're almost there. Today's the 27th. As always, we encourage you to get in contact with us. ChicoandtheGrin@gmail.com. Chico and the Grin on Instagram. Chico and the Grin on Facebook. Chico and the Grin on Twitter. Somebody's there to monitor write in, let us know what you think. We'd like to thank our friend Microaggression for joining us on the podcast today.
Thank
It's
you
always
for
a pleasure.
having me.
We
Thanks
finally
for bringing
have
the beers. Those
yeah,
are good.
thank you.
Yeah,
We
I'm
finally
good.
have enough mics so that everybody could actually speak clearly and not yell over each other.
You still yelled.
Yeah, but it's all right.
You talk kind of loud too.
I have an inner ear problem. I can't control the volume of my voice.
You like louder than everybody,
I try to be.
especially when you're on your soapbox.
Listen, guns.
I'm like Gomez. I like guns, man.
I know.
You're just
it's-
like, fuck you
no.
and your shit. I'm like, I like guns,
No.
baby. Why you gotta look at me
No,
when you talk?
no. I was looking at you because we were conversating. It's nothing about you. I love both of you. It's fine.
What did I do to you?
It's not about you. You were just a conduit for my anger.
He's like, you fucking liberals. I was like, yo, man. I'm just here trying to co-host the podcast.
okay, it was
But the real fight's gonna be the martial arts top 10.
yeah.
list.
That's gonna be episode 36. Is
Oh,
gonna
this
be a
movie
motherfucker.
suck.
Sidekicks. Sidekicks #1 forever. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Chico and the Grin, episode number 32. I'm Chico, half your host, and
Oh, we didn't talk about the Bird Box.
I haven't watched it yet.
That's a horrible fucking
What
movie.
the
Is
Sandra
it,
Bullock shit?
is that bad?
I don't want to be here for
Oh,
this.
I heard it
There's
was
no
so
reason.
good. I heard it was so good.
Who told you that
Everyone's
shit?
telling me it's so good.
Because she's wait, it's 2 degrees of separation. She starred in Speed next to Keanu Reeves. That
shit.
means that shit's good.
Oh, he did the fucking celebrity math. Son of a bitch. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Have a good night. Chico and the Grin, episode 32. I'm Chico.
I'm the Grin.
Deuce.
Peace.